Semifinal game came less than a week after one of the worst tornadoes in Illinois history destroyed their town. Jim Madsen from WEEK looks back at how Washington high school football led the town's comeback.
November 16th, 2013, the Washington Panthers roll to touchdown after touchdown and march into the state Final Four. The whole town of Washington is football crazy. The next day, November 17th, 2013, a day no one in Washington will ever forget. A day of not football touchdowns, but a tornado touchdown that ravaged the town of Washington. Panthers coach Daryl Crouch could not believe the damage.
We went out to find our players' houses, coaches' houses, and that was when you got where it just looked like it had been bombed. You see things on TV, and it's nothing like when you walk through and you can't tell where you're at.
10 years after the Washington tornado, the 2023 football Panthers are back in the football Final Four. The current Panthers were 6, 7, and 8 years old 10 years ago, but you don't forget a tornado in your hometown. Panthers defensive back Owen Klein was confused when his family went to the basement that Sunday morning 10 years ago. He was shocked when his family left the basement.
I walked out and there was just nothing, everything was destroyed, everything was flat. I was really confused because I didn't know what happened. I didn't really understand it then, except for just I knew that it was gone and that we probably weren't gonna get it back.
The Panthers were 6 days away from the football game of a lifetime, but football would wait. Monday's practice was canceled as the Panther team spent the day doing whatever they could to help their town.
And we talk about that forever in our program. We talk about that leaders lead from the front, not from the back. And they did. They did a good job, and I think they felt a commitment to the town.
The Panthers' goal was to help their town recover from the tornado, and the best thing they could do was play football. There was never any talk of canceling the upcoming playoff game at Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin.
There was never any of the kids were like, why are we playing this game? And just the normalcy that it gave our town for that 4-hour block and our kids. Our kids, if you went back and asked them that week, the only time they were in a normal situation was when we were at practice. And then they were going back to chaos. We had guys sleeping at other guys' houses because their house was gone.
On game day, the Panthers traveled south to Springfield. The 75-mile trip was lined with fans of opposing high school football teams showing their support for the Panthers. The stands were packed with football fans and love that playoff afternoon. Among the fans was current Washington All-State star Kanan McQuarrie.
It was that one thing that still kind of brought our community together. It was that one hope that we had. We still had our football team going, and we're still here, and their crowd cheered for us, our crowd cheered.
Washington lost that 2013 semifinal game, but for Washington coach Daryl Crouch, the week after the Washington tornado was the ultimate championship effort by his Panthers.
They did a really good job of helping with the cleanup. They did a really good job in front of national media and local media of talking about our town, and really rose to the occasion.
Our sports in the hardest of times, I'm sure plenty of memories that plenty of those players remember. The current Washington Panthers team here in 2023, they made it to the state Final Four in Class 6A before a loss to East St. Louis. There you see Hancock Stadium, the 6A championship game coming up. Those Flyers of East St. Louis get ready to take on Cary-Grove in a rematch in 2021. We got that for you coming up when we come back.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Every year, the Whiffles family celebrates the season the best way they know how. And every year, they add a little something new. After all this time, you'd think all that extra work put into every last detail would get old. Well, think again. Whiffles Hybrids. Season's greetings from our U.S. farm family to yours.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and they care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Would you look at that? I'm in the classroom again. But this time, I can apply these skills to make some money. Lots of money.
Have a cough, sore throat, or fever, or need care now for pink eye, a urinary tract infection, or a rash? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Get care in person, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day, even holidays, and walk out with a prescription for your care if needed. Make a reservation today or start a virtual visit 24/7. It's just that easy. Find a location near you. osfoncall.org/urgent care.
Welcome back. We return to Hancock Stadium with IHSA Executive Director standing by with our Casey Standahar.
This is Craig Anderson, Executive Director of the IHSA. Craig, welcome back to the state championship. What's it like to be back?
Oh, it's great to be back. You know, we haven't been here since 1998. The community and the university have been so welcoming of us. It's just been a great atmosphere for our first 5 games, and it's only going to get better today.
How exciting is it? We have the band here from East St. Louis, just to be back here at Hancock Stadium.
Well, it's where it all started, and, you know, it's just such an intimate setting. The things they've done in renovating and making it a real class location is just tremendous. You know, the team's got a warm-up facility that's climate control, so they get to use that indoor facility, and so it meets all of our needs, and we're just really excited to be back.
Awesome. I saw you chatting earlier with some of the officials here. I know that's always a big need for the IHSA to train new officials for football and for basketball. Talk about the importance of that.
Oh, it's incredibly important. You know, we license in over 17 different sports, including cheer judges, dance officials. So we're in a need. It's just, it's a national thing, but definitely here in Illinois, we have locations where we're without officials at certain levels of contest. So we would urge folks that are watching, jumping in today to go to our website, become an official link, and just jump right in and give it a shot. You know, it's an easy licensing process. We give everybody the rules and the training, and we'd like for more people to get started.
Maybe I'll give it a go. I don't know. Maybe I'll.
Why not?
Craig, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the day of football.
I definitely will. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Darius, we'll send it back to you. We got more football coming up.
Yes, we do. Casey, thank you, and our thanks to Craig as well. It looked like it got a little warmer for them out there, and as you saw behind them, the teams for the 6A championship are warming up as well. That kickoff coming up soon. We'll be right back.
Feels good to be home. Ashley's Black Friday sale continues this weekend. Friday through Monday, shop limited time doorbusters starting at $1.99. Plus, get 25% off store-wide on qualifying purchases. The best Black Friday furniture deals are only at Ashley.
December 6th, the News Nation Republican primary debate with SiriusXM's Megyn Kelly, News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas, and the Washington Free Beacon's Eliana Johnson. To find News Nation on your TV, go to joinnn.com.
Hey everyone, Emerald Lagasse here, and I'm so excited to tell you about my biggest air fryer yet.
Introducing Emerald Lagasse's Dual Zone Air Fryer Oven with dual-sided cooking chambers. Now you can cook 2 different foods 2 different ways that finish at the same time. Enjoy juicy grilled burgers at the same time as air-fried French fries. Broiled savory salmon at the same time as roasted asparagus. The secret is in the QuickSync technology that matches the cooking times and settings of each food, so they're programmed to finish at the same time. But watch, remove the center divider and it transforms into a large 25-quart capacity oven. Now you can try Emerald Lagasse's dual zone air fryer oven with free recipe book in your home for 30 days for just $14.99. But wait, we'll automatically upgrade you to his deluxe cooking kit and 1-year VIP protection plan absolutely free, complete with everything you need to cook Monday to Sunday family-size meals. Plus, ask how you can get free shipping. This offer will not last, so order now.
You're gonna love it. I guarantee.
Introducing Finish Ultimate, engineered for the toughest conditions. Dry, burnt-on stains, old dishwashers, very hard water. New Finish Ultimate with CycleSync technology helps deliver the ultimate clean.
2021 between East St. Louis and Cary-Grove. To take you through the actions, Matt Rodewald and Jack McInerney at Hancock Stadium. Hey, guys.
Hey, Darius. Hey, Tim. Thank you so much. We're getting set for this one here at Hancock Stadium. I'm just going to admit, I'm looking really forward to seeing the contrast of this whole thing here.
Well, based on the last time they played 2 years ago, it was one of the most exciting high school football games since we've been doing state championships. Both of these teams right now are just two completely different type of teams as far as what they do offensively and what they do defensively. It's going to be an interesting contrast. It's going to be interesting to see who prevails with their type of offense.
If there's one guy who's seen both of these games, it'll be Pops Battle. Robert Pops Battle, the quarterback for East St. Louis. And the key for him is, according to Darren Sunkett, just the maturity. He's within the system, is really trusting himself now.
Well, maturity for an athlete like this is more mental, I think. I mean, you can talk about physical maturity, but he's just a great athlete. He can make more things happen with his feet. He's just a great athlete. Strong arm, just a tremendous athlete. He's going to be really tough for Cary-Grove to stop.
Obviously a little bit bigger as well now, 6'1", 183 pounds, so he's added some muscle. Logan Abrams is quite the load. This is a sophomore you're looking at. He's going to be the key for everything that Cary-Grove does today.
Well, interestingly enough, Matt, we talk about maturity. Sometimes we talk about mental. In his case, it's physical maturity for a young player. And it's always great to have a 1,000-yard rusher when you're coming out of the wing tee. And that's exactly what they do. Excuse me, the double wing, and that's how they run it. They're very efficient with it.
And then thunder to lightning, we got Andrew Trio, of course, the all-state selection. He doesn't have as many yards, and because of the fullback's role in the offensive system, but he's quick and hits the hole hard.
Well, interestingly enough, 2 years ago, it was mainly the fullback that hurt St. Louis, because they just ran them up inside, and they ran them up inside. Now they have a little more to give East St. Louis because they have two backs that have had over 1,000 yards. And as you mentioned, Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside as far as speed. So it's going to be another dimension for East St. Louis to stop.
An additional key to this one, Darius and Tim, as we set it back to you, Cary-Grove's going to get the football first. Will they be able to set their tempo and set the way they want this thing to go offensively? If we have a 12-play, 10-minute drive to start the game, you know the answer to that question, guys.
Yeah, Matt, you know that's certainly exactly what they want to do in this contest here. A rematch of the 2021 6A championship game. The last two champions in this class. That kickoff's coming up when we come back.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you can go from player to coach, from the ground to the sky.
So close your eyes, envision the roar that is a spirit of thousands of Salukis. Capture this moment and go forward together.
Prepare for the holidays with great Black Friday deals at Menards. We have the perfect gifts for your family and friends, or to help finish your projects, both big and small. Now's the perfect time to hurry in and get these amazing stocking stuffers and other fantastic gifts. Menards Black Friday deals are so great that even Santa himself can't resist.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Want a great career? Join the Carpenters Union and be part of the next generation building our communities. With the Carpenters Union Career Connections program, high school students get a head start on the industry's leading curriculum. Learn the latest in construction technology and the many skilled crafts the Carpenters Union represents. Plus, earn as you learn. Receive a nice paycheck, health insurance benefits, and best of all, no college debt. Ask your school district to participate in the Career Connections program and get started on your future.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you could go from player to coach, from the ground to the sky.
So close your eyes, envision the roar that is a spirit of thousands of Salukis. Capture this moment and go forward together.
Welcome back to the IHSA TV network. Darius Joshua here, Edgy Tim O'Halloran here with you. We'll be taking you through halftime here. Already a great first game in Class 5A. 3 more games to come for the rest of the day, starting with the 6A game here between East St. Louis and Cary-Grove. We saw one repeat champion. Will we get another one here in 6A?
We could. Hey, more option. It's all about the running game. Told you. Another game, another running game.
And we will see that right away as Cary-Grove will be starting with the ball to take you through all the plays of the first half. Matt Rodewald and Jack McInerney.
Darius and Tim, thank you so much. And again, you mentioned Nazareth repeating as champions. We could have repeat champions in 5A all the way through 8A, and we're looking forward to this one here with East St. Louis and Cary-Grove. And yes, it's a rematch from 2 years ago. They always say sequels are not as good, but we're very intrigued on how this is going to go.
Well, again, as we mentioned before, I'm really interested because of the two diverse offenses that they run. Now, let's not forget about defense. That's going to be tougher for Cary-Grove because East St. Louis has such tremendous athletes and tremendous speed. It might be a little tougher for Cary-Grove defensively to keep up with East St. Louis.
We're going to keep an eye on how things are up front for both East St. Louis and Cary-Grove, but let's talk about the road to normal for these two teams and how they got to the state championship game from the south to the north. East St. Louis, of course, they had Lamont in the semis last year, and it was a tight game. They weren't going to let that thing get tight at all. Tough one with Kankakee. We're able to shake them late. Washington held serve, but for East St. Louis, their test is always the first couple of weeks of the season before they just get rolling through competition, and then we find out when they get here if they're any good. Do the Flyers have what it takes to win a state championship and get their 11th title? Meanwhile, for Cary-Grove, they lost a couple of games, but really 2 plays made the difference in that one, and then when they got to the postseason, they've been on fire. They blitzed through Geneva with 300 yards on the ground, and Lake Zurich as well. They didn't punt in the first half of either the quarterfinal or the semifinal. It's an 11-2 team that could easily be 13-0. Cary-Grove and East St. Louis. It was a game for the ages 2 years ago, and now the sequel. Can the Trojan triple option do it again, or will the high-flying Flyers from East St. Louis finish the job and leave no doubt? A fascinating contrast of styles between a pair of schools 5 hours apart. We can't wait. The Class 6A state championship game is next here on the IHSA Television Network.
The IHSA Football State Championships are being brought to you in part by Country Financial. Find out why over 1 million families let us protect their lives and livelihoods. Visit countryfinancial.com.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Would you look at that? I'm in the classroom again. But this time, I can apply these skills to make some money. Lots of money.
Have a cough, sore throat, or fever, or need care now for pink eye, a urinary tract infection, or a rash? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Get care in person, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day, even holidays, and walk out with a prescription for your care if needed. Make a reservation today or start a virtual visit 24/7. It's just that easy. Find a location near you. osfoncall.org/urgent care.
Every year, the Whiffles family celebrates the season the best way they know how. And every year, they add a little something new. After all this time, you'd think all that extra work put into every last detail would get old. Well, think again. Wiffles Hybrids. Season's greetings from our U.S. farm family to yours.
Back with you on the IHSA TV network. East St. Louis head coach Darren Sunkett kept it simple in our call with him earlier this week. He just expressed the importance of maintaining and stopping Cary-Grove's triple option offense today. He said our defense has to make our guys play in space. On offense, we know we can run the ball, but we need the right mixture of play calling with our zone scheme. But the more we can spread them out, the better off we'll be.
All right, thank you, Casey. If Darren Sunkett, you see he's been at East St. Louis a long time. He says coaching ball keeps him young, and as long as the kids want him to be there, he'll keep doing it. As long as he's healthy, he will continue to coach, and they'll have a tough task for themselves today. East St. Louis won the toss, and they have elected to defer, which means Cary-Grove will get the ball first out of the gate, and we will get to see this offense for Cary-Grove. It'll be Andrew Prio, deep to receive, and Jack Rokin, the linebacker. So spread out. And off we go for our Class 6A state championship game for 2023. It'll be Prio up the middle and driven down right at the 25-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Cary-Grove. Do the starting lineups and show you what they look like for Peyton Seberg, the junior quarterback, the coach's son, who will be under center. He will do some running. He might do some throwing. We shall see. But the line is the key here as you look at Lucas Burton and company, the junior center, and everyone else is a senior. Jack Hissong is sophomore at 6'2", 250. And you see Prio. Holden Boone will be a key as well. Jack Hornock will catch the ball occasionally. And a flag right before we get our first snap of the game.
Got that ball foul. Encroachment on the defense, number 17.
That is not a good sign. East St. Louis
can't do that.
One of the biggest deficiencies they have is silly penalties.
And today's starting lineup is presented by OSF in their week one. And week one is always messy for everybody, but about 20 penalties against Mount Carmel in that game. And you can't give them 1st and 5 more than anything else. But again, the guys up front, as we mentioned, Kelly Mace, the senior on the left side, Samuel Diaz off tackle, or rather off guard with Anthony Cruz. This is an experienced group that went 3-6 a year ago, but they are a different team now. Here's Abrams, first give. And that's what he's going to do. You'll see 3 yards and a cloud of rubber pellets right up the middle. And for East St. Louis, the concern is the youth up front with Keandre McClendon at 6'2", 230 junior, and Carnell McIntosh, a sophomore. They haven't seen an offense like this before in this type of setting. And you see the linebacking core, Keelan LeGrant, Bryce Harrison, who was a huge factor last year against Prairie Ridge with 9 tackles and a sack. This time, the keeper, Seberg, that gets close to the first down marker. And again, our starting lineup is presented by OSF. And you see Leon Trey Bradford, Smiley Bradford, and Jayon Jackson. You'll see him on kick return duties as well. You see Makai McDowell as they'll rotate players in. First starter from last year's state championship game. 3rd down and 1. Maybe a little bit more than that, 1.5 yards. You'll see Prio go into motion, come back, reset. They're a patient group with this triple option. Boone to the right. Abrams at the fullback. They give to him, and he gets close to the marker, and they're going to mark that about 1/2 yard short. And this makes for a fascinating decision for Brad Seberg right out of on the first possession. Will you go for it at your own 35?
Well, if you think about this offense, it's an offense that's geared to get 4 and 5 yards and crack and show patience. So I guess if you're going to do it, this kind of an offense, here's the place to do it.
Going under center.
They're also going to test the discipline of that defensive line of East St. Louis.
Play clock under 7. They do snap it. Option pitch. Prio gets out of a tackle. He'll get the first down. Oh, that was so close to being a stuff for East St. Louis. And Cary-Grove fans take a deep breath and a sigh of relief.
Wow. What a start that would have been for East St. Louis. And it turns out to be what a start for Cary-Grove.
He came flying in there, and that looked like Taylor Powell that came roaring in there. Or maybe Christopher Bennett, either one, 2 or 3.
And that was crucial, Matt, for Cary-Grove to sustain that first down on that first possession here.
The question for the Flyers is, can they fly to the football in their second level to make sure that they help out up front, because it's going to be a constant ground and pound type game. Let's go through our keys of the game, brought to you by Southern Illinois University Carbondale. Imagine the possibilities.
Well, for East St. Louis, they got to stop the fullback. I mean, that's what really killed them 2 years ago in the state championship game. Not so much today, but it's still the fullback-orientated offense. And as we first saw in the very first play, they've got to limit penalties for themselves. Cary-Grove, on the other hand, must be very efficient at first and second down. They don't want to give them explosive plays, and they've got to contain the quarterback because he is really explosive.
Seberg will keep it, and he'll pick up a good chunk to get within range at the 44-yard line. And I'll add to it to stop the fullback and keep them behind the chains. Really something that Darren Sunken and company want to do. Peyton Seberg himself. So if he doesn't hand it off, he'll keep it a lot. 683 yards for him on the ground. He's only thrown for 300 yards. Attempted 28 passes on the entire season, which is a little more than some of our 1A and 2A counterparts that we saw yesterday. But they are efficient and effective when they do pass the ball.
Another big third down play for him.
Logan Abrams is that sophomore fullback, number 46. And they go to Prio around the corner. Can he get a block through the outside? And he gets inside the 40-yard line, and they move the chains.
Well, you've got to give a lot of credit to Peyton Seberg, the quarterback, on that. He held that dive right to the fullback and closed them down. Watch the fake right here, and then he gets to the outside and does a great job of quickly getting that pitch off. And then there's the speed you talked about, Matt, with Andrew Prio getting to the outside. Most times you can rarely get to the outside against East St. Louis. They did it there.
Yeah, Brad Seberg talks about the fact that he's got speed, but he's right up there with some of the fastest players he's had. And he's been a very good blocker as well in this postseason. Up the gut, about 3 yards. And you think for East St. Louis's purposes, if you can take it from 3 yards down to 2 yards, that's really the difference in terms of making it 2nd and 8 versus 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 3. It's all about down and distance with this offense.
Well, and first down is so darn crucial. Then second down obviously is too, but first down is the key.
You look at Brad Seberg, the head coach. And Abrams pushing the pile up to the first down marker inside the 29-yard lines. It's going to come up 3rd down and 2. For Brad Seberg, of course, he took over for Bruce Kay. They've been running this offense at Cary-Grove for about 50 years, a version of it. So these kids have run it since they were little kids. And finally, when he took over, they started saying, all right, we're going to be all in on this offense all the way at the younger levels. And it's paid off with state championships 3 times since 2009. 3rd down and 2. Abrams at the first down marker, and he'll get driven backwards, but I think he crossed the line to gain, and they will move the chains.
Well, this is exactly the game plan for Brad Seberg. He wants to make sure that clock keeps ticking away and they keep moving those chains and just keep the ball away from that potent East St. Louis offense.
We saw Prairie Ridge have a good opening drive last year, and then East St. Louis was able to slam the door shut, lock it, weld it, do everything they need to do. But Cary-Grove, a familiar script. Up the gut, he'll keep it that time. Seberg got a few extra yards as they couldn't find the ball. You saw about 4 or 5 guys, and our cameras will get caught in this too. Stick with Logan Abrams. It was Seberg on the run.
Well, last year, the quarterback was the main person for Prairie Ridge. Now you're looking here at Cary-Grove. They've got other tools besides the quarterback. And last year against Prairie Ridge, East St. Louis, they moved down the field, and the quarterback scored in the very first possession. Then after that, they shut him down the rest of the ball game. In this situation, they've got a lot more explosive players in the backfield. Now, by explosive, I'm talking about 5-6 yards of crack. I'm not talking about 65 yards.
And there's an issue on the other side of the field.
Ooh.
And I'm not sure what had happened. And it's hard to see who it is. And it's Seaberg. We'll try and sort it out when we come back. Timeout on the field here. Opening quarter of our Class 6A state championship.
Prepare for the holidays with great Black Friday deals at Menards. We have the perfect gifts for your family and friends, or to help finish your projects, both big and small. Now's the perfect time to hurry in and get these amazing stocking stuffers and other fantastic gifts. Menards Black Friday deals are so great that even Santa himself can't resist.
4 seasons greetings to you all from Menards.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you can go from player to coach, from the ground to the sky.
So close your eyes, envision the roar that is a spirit of thousands of Salukis. Capture this moment and go forward together.
The IHSA Football State Championships are being brought to you in part by Menards, SIU Carbondale, and by Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council.
Well, this is the reason for the timeout. If you're a quarterback, you need to be able to see. And if you don't have a contact in, well, you've got a problem.
It makes it very difficult. Now, on this particular drive, Matt, they've been averaging 4.8 per carry, and that's exactly what you want to do with this kind of an offense.
That number goes down if Seaberg can't see the snap, though. So,
yeah, very much so.
As one who wears contacts, there's two ways around this. You have a nice, clean solution, or if you're going to be a football player, using the old saliva trick to just get that thing back in. And I'm sure Mom didn't want to hear that, but it's been done a few times, I'm sure.
That's why I don't wear contacts.
And the idea of actually having any of that over on the sideline, probably at this level you got everything you need, but you know, on a random Friday in September, maybe not. Seaberg, it gives it to Abrams with a big push. And that's going to be a first down and a lot more as they work inside the red zone, and it'll be first and goal now for Cary-Grove in the opening drive of this one. That's lasted more than 5 minutes.
And you can't draw it up any better than what they've been doing on this first drive.
They go quick. Prio in motion. Abrams again. And maybe one, maybe none. That's the kind of play that just gets you tired.
And some of these calls here now, Peyton Seaberg is, you know, the coach's son, and the thing is that he knows this offense back and forth. He's probably been listening to it since he was a toddler. But sometimes it's a direct call where they're going to give it. Other times it's like up to you. You read it and see what you can do.
There's Prio in motion. Seaberg kept that time. Bounced out of a tackle, got to the goal line, and short by maybe a half a yard.
And that's a crucial play because they fake to the fullback, which closes everybody down, and then the quarterback just goes right basically off of his hip in the next gap over. Sometimes it's a follow using the fullback as a lead blocker, and other times it's the next gap. Right there, he saw it close down, and so he went up behind the fullback.
Pushing this flyer front three. Knocking on the door of the goal line. Abrams pushes through for the 1-yard touchdown. Logan Abrams puts the Trojans in front on their opening drive of the game.
And that's the kind of drive, if you were going to teach anybody how to run the triple option, take that drive, the possession and the drive and the different play calls that you made. They ran the quarterback, they ran the fullback, they ran the option outside. Very effective offensively.
I mean, we see a lot of RPO in today's football. How is this any different? It really isn't, with the exception of the actual pass part.
Another penalty right here.
And so that Not sure what happened there.
They're going to change. They're going to go for 2 here.
Because if this is an East St. Louis penalty.
And again, these are the penalties, Matt, that we look at.
On the defense, number 8,
in the fourth quarter.
That's Marty Munns, the Marseilles native, with his crew, Howie Hughes, Larry Newberry, Tim Lucas, and John Sear, the back judge. And so they move it to the 1.5-yard mark. And so Cary-Grove, knowing that East St. Louis will go for 2 quite a bit, they're going to go for 2 themselves here. Seberg will keep it and gets in for the 2-point conversion. Can it go any better at the start for Cary-Grove? 15 plays, 75 yards, all on the ground, chewing up 6 minutes and 19 seconds. They even got a 2-point conversion out of it. It's the Trojans on the march to start here in 6A.
When you plant Whiffles hybrids, you're making a statement that independence and family-owned means something on your farm. So make your choice. Plant your independence. Plant Whiffles.
Smiles. These are the healthy smiles of real Delta Dental members. Folks with access to the nation's largest network of dentists and low-deductible plans with 100% preventive care coverage, all backed by over 65 years of expertise. Go online or give us a call to learn about affordable individual plans that meet your needs. 1-800-335-8215.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that high-yielding hybrids soon would be there. Hope you get everything you want this year. Happy holidays from your friends at Whiffles Hybrids.
It is an 8-0 score as we are midway through our first quarter of action in our Class 6A state championship game. Matt Rodewald, Jack McInerney, and Casey Standahar with you, and it couldn't have been a better start for the Trojans on that drive.
Well, you talk about efficiency. 15 plays, and they did it in 6 minutes and 19 seconds. 15 plays and 75 yards, and that's a blueprint for this offense.
And what's the one thing you want to watch in terms of how this goes for offense for Cary-Grove is average yards per carry. You get above 3.5, you're feeling good. 4.7 yards per carry. That is outstanding at this point. And if they can sustain that, they're going to be holding the big trophy.
Well, they had 15 plays, and their fullback ran the ball 9 times. And that's a blueprint for this particular offense. But now you start squeezing down on that fullback, and you can see they're not afraid to go outside on the option.
Here's Jaden Apgar, who will be a huge weapon to prevent any sort of danger on the kick return. Jyon Jackson, who returned to kickoff, the opening kickoff against Washington for a touchdown in the semifinal of 82 yards. He might be nullified by Apgar doing just what we saw by kicking it into the end zone. Time for our starting lineups presented by OSF for East St. Louis. In this front 5 for East St. Louis, a relatively new group. And we see Shamon Hamilton, the 6'2", 280-pound senior. Duke Powell, 6'1", 320. He's a junior. He's the key to watch for the years to come for East St. Louis. They always have some size down there to go with that speed. And Pops Battle, he is your quarterback, a 3-year state championship game starter. He is back in shotgun to start things off for the Flyers. They go with Laverius Woods, who is going to get the start tonight at running back. We weren't sure if we're going to see to Ryan Martin. We might see limited action from him, who's dealing with a high ankle sprain, suffered in week 8, and the recovery has not gone as well as they'd hoped. But for Woods, he's averaged about 6.8 yards a carry. He gets 3 right there.
And that's a good start for East St. Louis. We talk about Cary-Grove having 4 to 5 yards on the first down. And that's a good move right there for East St. Louis.
Of course, Pops Battle's got has some weapons to throw to. We haven't really talked too much about Jesse Watson. There he is, the All-Stater who's heading to Purdue. He's a couple of D1 commits, but mostly they're on the defensive side of the football this year. Play clock running down, and it's going to force a timeout. East St. Louis not organized. This is not a good start for the Flyers.
No, this is sometimes what happens to East St. Louis. They have the penalty issues and then sometimes personnel issues.
Continuing on with our starting lineups, if we can, just to make sure we get some names for all of you, and especially up front. This is going to be key. Can they get pressure? Can Kyle Jarecki and company find a way to get up front? He's got 6 sacks on the season, 7 tackles for loss. He had a good semifinal against Lake Zurich, who doesn't throw the ball nearly as much. And their linebacking core, Thomas Battaglia leading the way, Jack Roken, who's in the backfield quite a bit, 63 tackles among the top 3 for him. And then this defensive core, the leader of this group is Connor Anderson, who started against East St. Louis back in 2021. He's had a long road to get back to this point, just to get back to the state championship game his senior year. And out of the timeout, it's battle on the keeper. A big gain and a pickup of a first down for Pop's Battle.
Pop's Battle, the ball carrier.
You see him with more arm strength, more consideration to throw the football nowadays, but he still has that weapon on with his legs.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He's probably one of the stronger 180-pound quarterbacks you're going to see. 14 yards on that carry. That gives you an idea of the quickness, and his feet are the key. He just has exceptionally quick feet.
RPO, they give, and it's Martin, or rather Woods, and Woods gets out to midfield and chunks of yards for East St. Louis, and the offense is humming for them so far. Let's send it downstairs and check in with Casey Standahar.
Yeah, guys, you mentioned Connor Anderson. He broke his leg in that Prairie Ridge game last year in late September. Doctors thought it would just heal itself, and in March he needed surgery. Coach Brad Seaberg said, I don't think he was 100% until week 7, but he's what's best about high school athletics. He puts the team first. He never misses a workout, even with a broken leg. It would have been easy to feel sorry for him to feel sorry for himself, but he leads the defense. He's just been through it all.
Chris Bennett on the catch there. Thank you, Casey. And, 3-6 last year for Cary-Grove. They really struggled to, with injuries, and he was one of them, and he felt responsible of a 3-6 season. There's nothing a whole lot you can do. They lost a lot of close games. They lost in overtime in week 8 against the Central Rockets, then lost to Hampshire. These are losses they don't normally have. But they really righted the ship. They got back in the weight room and showed themselves, I think, an appreciation for how much success they had for such a long time. Here's Woods on the carry. Woods trying to turn the corner. He gets to the edge of the 40 before being stopped. And he only picked up about 2. That sets up an interesting 3rd and 2 coming up.
Well, it's an interesting 3rd and 2, but when he first started out, you could see that blazing speed that he has getting to the outside. But Cary-Grove did a nice job of fighting off the outside blocker and coming up and forcing that play. And so far, Cary-Grove has hung in here, but you can just tell that East St. Louis has just got very explosive players.
3rd down and 2 from the 40. Battle to Ryan Martin. He'll keep it on the draw. And Battle will pick up the first down as he gets to the 34-yard line.
Now, when a quarterback runs the quarterback draw, you have to have a little bit of showmanship. And that's exactly what he did right there. He stood there and he actually pump faked, which dropped the linebackers even 1 or 2 more steps out, and then he ran up there rather than just coming back, taking 1 step, and then coming up. So that little showmanship can give you a couple extra yards on that quarterback draw.
And it makes Connor Anderson, you see him kind of hesitate to take 1 step and fly to the football. Came in from the 3rd level to make that stop. Here's Battle. He will throw. Looking. Scrambling. Down to the sideline and slips out of bounds for positive yards. And he picks up 4 on that one. And it just shows when you have the multi-faceted offense, how dangerous a player like Battle can be.
Well, sometimes Battle can create a big problem downfield for the secondary. Because what happens is, he scrambles so well that the secondary loses sight of the receivers, and they're so busy watching him, thinking that they might have to come up and make the play, they lose sight of the receivers, and that's when he is at his best, throwing in the scramble drill.
Throw to the right side. Bennett on the catch, short and run, stopped right at the marker. Looks like he'll have enough. Stop on the play. Saw Brady Elbert, the sophomore, coming in for the tackle for Cary-Grove.
Much like Cary-Grove's first drive down the field, man, this is another type of drive down the field, but it's completely different. It's with a lot of different offense. Run, pass, screen, draw, so kind of completely different, but the same efficiency that Cary-Grove showed.
And the way that Cary-Grove is lining up, they're going kind of a nickel set here with Connor Anderson right in the middle as a strong safety as opposed to being a free.
Well, sometimes with this kind of quarterback, you mirror him.
Here's Martin. First big carry for him. About 4 yards.
Ryan Martin.
Closing in on 2 minutes left in this first quarter.
Boy, a lot of these people probably hardly got comfortable in their seats, and this quarter's flying by already.
It's a lot like what we saw on Friday for small schools. The question I see now, the way that these offenses are going, we're going to see a punt in the first half. We may not. Battle will throw again, and that was stopped before we started. Our third penalty of the day.
A dead ball foul. False start. Number 10, the offense. 5-yard penalty.
I can't even imagine how frustrated Darren Sucken gets when he does all these penalties, when they have momentum going, and penalties like that really hurt you.
That moves him behind the sticks, putting him back to second down and 11. And Jesse Watson, you see there, the All-Stater, 5'10" senior. Chance to get to 1,000 yards today. 18 yards a catch. He is a weapon who we saw last year. Between him and Rico Bond and John Daly, Christopher Bennett, who's been around a bit as well. There are certainly weapons on the outside. It's Daly and Bennett near side. Fake to Woods, battle to throw, right side. It's caught by Bond and hit as he catches it. And that's a tough catch to make. Stopped at the 10-yard line of first down.
And it's a smart play by the receiver, because he went 2 yards beyond the first down marker, and Pops threw the ball in there. And when I say Pops, right here, Battle delivers the ball. They weren't going for the bomb. They just wanted to get the first down. He makes the cut 2 yards beyond the chains, and they pick it up.
Good hit by Corey Adams, the senior, but Battle now 3 for 3 in the air. Pistol set, Woods behind him. He'll give it to Woods. Woods cuts inside the 3. And you saw a host of Cary-Grove defenders come in there. You wonder, is that the kind of play where you trying to rip that ball out right near the goal line? That's been set up.
Cary-Grove.
Second and goal.
Well, East St. Louis certainly does a nice job at the line of scrimmage. That offensive line of theirs averages 275 pounds. And that, you know, we keep saying this in all these games, how big these offensive linemen are. It's amazing.
12th play of the drive here with Woods stumbling a bit before he was able to slip inside a blocker, and they down at the 2-yard line. Third down coming up. And you watch where Watson lines up to see if he can isolate himself here.
Well, they run the ball extremely well with a 275-pound offensive line, so I don't know that they'll be throwing it here.
That's the end of the first quarter. Cary-Grove capitalizing on the opening drive. East St. Louis trying to match them. We'll find out if they can when we come back. Quarter number 1 in the books here at Normal.
WCIA3 is honoring veterans' voices for celebrating Central Illinois.
We were rapid deployment. We had the capability of being anywhere within 72 hours. I didn't believe it until it happened. So they invaded Kuwait on the 2nd of August. On the 6th of August, I was in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were one of the first there.
Yeah, very first, yeah. Very first.
Celebrating Central Illinois, sponsored by Harriet's Rents Tents Events.
For moderate to severe Crohn's disease, Skyrizi is the first IL-23 inhibitor that can deliver remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Control of Crohn's means everything to me. Ask your gastroenterologist about Skyrizi. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
When moderate to severe ulcerative colitis persists, put it in check with Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
When UC got unpredictable, I got rapid symptom relief with Rinvoq.
Check.
When UC held me back, I got lasting steroid-free remission with Rinvoq. Check.
And when UC got the upper hand,
Rinvoq helped visibly repair the colon lining. Check. Rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission, and a chance to visibly repair the colon lining. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occur. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Put UC in check and keep it there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq and learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Some big-time programs on our schedule for the final day of the IHSA football season. Nazareth winning a state championship, their 5th in school history. They're the first team to win a state championship with 5 losses on their schedule. The game going right now will be followed by Mount Carmel and Downers Grove North. The offense for the Caravan is rolling along, and a defensive struggle we expect to see. The first to score touchdown wins Lincoln Way East and Loyal Academy, the nightcap. As we look forward to a full day of football still going here. This is a big 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line for East St. Louis. Woods and Battle in the backfield. It will be Battle keeping it, and he will step into the end zone for the touchdown. East St. Louis. 2 yards for Robert Pops Battle, who's got his 8th touchdown on the ground for the season.
And there was no doubt about that. It was just a little fake, and he came back to the other side and was very quick about hitting the hole. Watched a little fake, and then he just flies in there. The guard and tackle leading the play. Mays and Taylor leading them up into the hole.
So we're going to go for 2 here because Cary-Grove went for 2 and nearly had somebody jump. They didn't call it.
Good job by East St. Louis of showing poise and discipline, not jumping themselves.
Battle. He'll give this time. It's Woods, and he'll be stopped at the 8-yard line. The conversion fails.
Part of that play was because Cary-Grove said there's no pass going on here, so those defensive backs came up very quickly.
So a 13-play drive as East St. Louis matches it, but the conversion is no good thanks to Ian Moran flying up the field, and the 5'11 senior gets a stop on the 2-point try.
Again, one of those kind of situations where you don't think about it now, but in the 4th quarters, it's going to make a difference.
We have had a total of 2 possessions in 12 minutes and 3 seconds of football. And so you see them looking at the film, and what's fascinating, too, is they film instantaneously on sidelines with the tablets, and I've seen full-screen televisions out there lined up. You'll see that tonight.
I'm surprised that they need to see also a lot of is these tents that they put up on the sidelines, and whichever team comes off the field, whether it be your defensive unit or your offensive unit, they go under the tent with the chairs, and then they look at the big screen TV to look at the possession that was just transpired.
You and I are happy to just have water and heaters.
Oh.
Back in the day. So Cary-Grove with a successful drive. They're going to have to keep it going here because clearly, as East St. Louis's offense goes, the pressure is going to follow them all the way through this one. And see if they can keep pounded and grounded with Abrams, and Frio had a nice conversion on 4th down.
One of the biggest issues for East St. Louis is during the week practicing for a team like this. Now, Coach Shannon mentioned that they take one practice occasionally to work on a team like this. But kids have short memories occasionally. If it isn't recently, they kind of forget about maybe responsibilities that they had. But you can't replicate on your scout team this kind of an offense effectively anyway.
Reese Shanklin, the freshman, who has helped the kicking game for East St. Louis, into the sun to Prio from the 8-yard line. Breaks out of a tackle and stays on his feet. He's across the 40. And good field position, well out of bounds. That flag's going to come out. Tack on another 15 yards, and Cary-Grove will start in Flyer territory for the first time.
Well, the key to this kind of an offense is excellent field position And that's exactly what we're going to see here with this 40-yard return, then tack on that penalty.
Brio got dinged up on that one, too. He's holding his right ankle for a brief moment.
During the return,
Those offensive
horse
come back
collar
out.
tackle on the defense, number 2. That'd be 15-yard penalty, results in a first down.
I didn't see that. I thought it was just late. Either way, both are about the same. Watch the kick return again.
Some poor tackling. 2 people should have had him back there.
I just thought it was late because it was that too. So
that left hand came in right at the end.
He was slow to get up. And the problem with the horse collar is because of the injury concerns. This is Seberg on the keeper instead of the dive to Abrams. And so on first down, only 2. Again, starting at the 40-yard line for East St. Louis.
Now, again, they have great patience with this offense because in some cases, depending where you are as far as field position, it's a 4-down scenario for that offense. And this could possibly be one of those scenarios, depending on what they do here on second down.
Second down and 7. Prio in motion. They give to Abrams that time. He rumbles ahead behind a host of blockers on that left side with Diaz and Burton. And they get it to about the 33-yard line, so that makes it 3rd down and 3. And I think you're in the territory you were talking about.
Right, because you're looking at this and they're saying, okay, with 2 downs, can we make 3 yards? With this offense, you would expect so.
So they've got to get to the 30. It's Holden Boone on the right side, Prio on the left side. Straight up the gut with Abrams, first down and a lot as he gets to about the 26-yard line. Pickup of 7 there.
Well, when you have an offense like this, so much credit needs to go to that rarely does go to the offensive line. And it's Diaz, his song, Cruz, Burton, and Mason. These guys are the ones that make this offense go, and they rarely ever get the credit, but we're going to give them the credit.
If you're looking for offensive balance, Cary-Grove is the wrong place to look. 18 carries, no passes, and it's going to be that way all day. Abrams, the push, as he gets to the 25-yard line. They're going to mark the 26. 2 different spots here. Let's see where they lean towards. And the clock runs.
And that spot was the good spot that they wanted.
Got the right one that they want. You're right.
Now, that last series was where they needed to get this situation that they're in now, where this definitely is 4-down territory.
Prio dances in motion, goes back, they reset. Look how many Flyers are in the box. We got 7 up there as they show pressure. It's Seberg on a keeper, and he dives forward for about 2, maybe 3. Technically 3. Brings up 3rd down.
And he really had the pitch. Was wide open here. And he was able to pitch the ball in that play. He had to score.
Big.
Goes down fast.
3rd and 6 right here. Ten seconds on the play clock. They'll take their time. Abrams motors with 3 tacklers having to drive him down at the 20-yard line. They maybe got to the 19, and you have a decision to make here on 4th down. Brad Seberg does have a kicker. Jaden Apgar, a junior, as long as at 34. But there have been misses of extra points and field goals in the postseason, and I think he's going to keep his offense on the field.
Well, this is a perfect play where you fake to the fullback, you ride him in, and then the second man keeps the ball, whether it be the quarterback or the wingback.
Big play of this first half.
They're going to close on the fullback here.
It's 4th down and 2. They've got to get to the 18. They're going to throw. Right side, Prio, open! Touchdown! Seberg to Prio for 19 yards. Surprise. They can throw the football in situations just like that.
And really early. Usually they throw 1.5 passes per game. Actually 2.5 passes per game, and complete 1.5 for 25 yards a game. So pounding the ball down up inside, and of course the defensive backs jump on that. They're looking into the backfield.
Big extra point here as you're playing the conversion game. Snap is down. Apgar's kick is on its way, and it is good, and that makes it a 2-score game. 8:08 remaining in our first half. East St. Louis has got a fight on their hands. They run it every time, except when they don't have to. Prio finds himself wide open, walking into the end zone for 6. Timeout.
Every day, Union Concrete contractors are fueling a foundation that lets our city stand tall. They bring the tools, training, and know-how required to bring your commercial projects in on time and with the highest levels of safety. Visit concreteil.com today to browse Northern Illinois' top union contractors specializing in commercial concrete and find the contractors you need to get your job done right.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
Trying to keep an eye on the future, and we'll make sure we're one of the first ones there when you need us most.
4 minutes into our second quarter, it's Cary-Grove with a 15-point lead, or a 15-6 lead, I should say, on East St. Louis. Let's watch the touchdown again.
Well, you talk about a man with poise, or a boy with poise, rather. Peyton Seberg doesn't panic. I mean, it was a good fake in there, and sometimes quarterbacks that are not used to throwing the football might overthrow him or underthrow him, but he just had good poise right there. Man was wide open, delivered it. And that was through a great play fake off their run game.
He had 2 receivers that were open.
Yeah, he did.
At that point, he could pick a couple of whichever one he wanted. And now if you're East St. Louis, you need to regroup. Yes, you've been scoring offensively, but you got to figure some things out of defense to get off the field.
You know, sometimes easier said than done. A lot of people say, well, it's just running a fullback dive for the most part. No, that's not true. There's different blocking schemes that are going on, and it all depends on the defensive front that East St. Louis is showing them.
Apgar will kick it off from the 40. End over end, and that will sail into the end zone, and no chance for Jesse Watson to return that. And they will come out to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Well, we mentioned in our open, it's 5 hours between these two. It's a long drive. So East St. Louis, they come up Friday night every year. Make sure that they come up early, they get themselves settled, because you don't want to be leaving at 6 a.m. to get up here for a 1 o'clock game. No, they don't want to do that. So they come up on Friday, and they come straight up I-55. Cary-Grove the other way, straight south. A little trip down, maybe a trip down Route 47 to get to 55 first. But it's a lengthy drive for both of these schools, and as we see the stands, we see a lot of great support, which means folks made the drive, and good for them. We love it. Here's Pop's battle back to work. Watson, or I should say Woods, as he was driven down about 3 yards in the pickup.
Now, this might be a silly comment, but this game could be determined on which team shows the best defensive discipline. Because both teams are showing you stuff where if you're not reading your keys and you're not playing backside pursuit and different things like that, it could be a difference in a big play, and it could be a different result in the finish of the game, because both of these teams have unique offenses, and defensive discipline is going to be extremely important.
And you say that, you got 2 juniors up front for Cary-Grove's front 3 and a junior and a sophomore up front for East St. Louis's front 3. Here's Battle, the short throw, and missed tackle. Bennett kept going, but driven down. There's Connor Anderson. Anderson delivering the pop there.
Tackled by Connor Anderson.
Bennett's a little guy, but quick, 5'7", 175 pounds. And the first real missed tackle we've seen from Cary-Grove at this point.
It's a big hit right there.
And so that brings up 3rd down and 2.
Watch play action pass here.
Watson stretched out to the top of the screen. Rico Bond and Bennett near side. Some confusion on the line. Bennett on the catch and run. First down. Bennett driven out of bounds. And his 4th catch of the day. Bennett involved early.
Well, the quarterback that you're talking about, Pops Battle, he's a veteran. I mean, he's been starting for 3 years, so he doesn't get rattled real easily.
Watch the end of that completion there. Saw Dylan Turner go in motion. He turned a little quick there. Here's Woods on the carry. Blocker in front of him, but he'll be stopped. The 44-yard line, I should say. I really like the patience from the Flyers offensively. They are not rushing, or they're just trying to establish a rhythm, and it's a little slower pace than probably what they're used to, but it's showing to be effective early on.
Well, they have the confidence that they can break any kind of play. Whoever touches that football, whether it be just a screen pass or it's just a toss outside, every one of their explosive players can go all the way. So I think they have confidence in that.
Both teams with 110 yards of total offense so far. Here's to Ryan Martin. Ball comes out, and the Flyers land on it. And to Ryan Martin, last year, if you recall, he dealt with a shoulder injury, and he dragged himself up and down that field for about 3/4 of it. This year, he's dealing with a high ankle sprain. So the question is, how effective can he be? He's got to hold on to the football.
Well, that occasionally will happen when you get a young man that runs really hard. You know, it's hard for them. Sometimes they get gang tackled and they lose control of the football because they're swinging their arms. The ball goes on the ground.
Second forced fumble for Thomas Battaglia all year. Battle to throw, caught, and Rico Bond tried to slip out of a tackle. He never did, but he got the first down anyway. Robert Battle now 6 of 6 through the air, closing in on 50+.
Robert Battle also is setting them up for the stop and go. They've been throwing everything relatively short, going on outside and some little curls of screens. All of a sudden, they're going to throw that fake screen, and the guy's going to go right by that corner who's racing up to make the play. It's going to be an easy 6. They do a lot of things to set up the big play.
Play clock down to 6. They get set, and they get it off in time. Battle will keep it. Battle up the gut, and inside the 40-yard line, and a penalty comes down.
Now that was a quarterback power or counter, depending on what you want to call it, because the guard and tackle both pulled to take him to the backside.
During the run, we have holding on the offense, number 55, 10-yard penalty. We played it down.
That is the 5th penalty of the day for the Flyers. Get a look at our crew. We mentioned Marty Munz, Marseille's native. Been doing it a long time. And a lot of these guys, you see names up here, you're like, hey, I know that name. The reason you see these names, you may know them, they do basketball, they do other sports, they do lacrosse, what have you. So they're busy, and they stay busy throughout the year. So.
And we're at the point, too, Matt, where we're starting to hurt for officials.
I still have to take my basketball test.
And we'll take it because basketball and football is hurting for officials, and that's why sometimes high school games are on Thursdays.
Battle throws. Bennett caught, gets to the outside, right at the first down marker. He dropped the football. Where do they mark it?
Battle's pass complete to Christopher Bennett.
And they're going to mark it.
Like basically back to the line of scrimmage.
And that was the original line of scrimmage.
Right.
So that makes it 2nd down and 12. They did mark it right where the football went out of bounds.
They keep feeding these secondary people the outside quick pass screen, and they're going to start biting on it pretty soon. They're playing it too deep, so those safeties are helping out on those corners.
Battle to throw, looking downfield. He's got Rico Bond, and it's just out of bounds. He was open, and he was also looking right back into the sun. And this sets up 3rd down here at midfield.
Now, when they threw that pass, they're throwing it deep out, and the reason they're doing that is they want to stay away from the help of that safety in the middle. That isolates just the corner, and doesn't allow the safety to come over and help with double coverage.
3rd down and 12. Are you setting yourself up to go for it on 4th down if you don't get it? Because you got a problem here if you don't get this 1st down.
Well, the problem starts with this 1st down. You're right, but I don't think I'd be going for it.
That's his 1st incompletion of the day. So battle with 3rd and 12. He'll go back to work. Standing at his 45. Pressure coming. Tries to escape. He cannot. And he will go down right at the 46-yard line. And that brings up 4th down. In on the stop, Charles Siskey.
You got to kick it. You don't want to give Cary-Grove this kind of field position.
They might go for it. Now you can see Reese Shanklin come on, number 12.
Yeah, I think it's a good call.
Christopher Bennett has been the punter at times this year. As you see him standing in the backfield. And it looks like they will punt.
And the thing is that this is the kind of numbers that you want to look at with Cary-Grove, 3:25 left. East St. Louis won't get the ball back unless there's a turnover fumble type of scenario for Cary-Grove.
And the play clock ran down. I was surprised Cary-Grove didn't call a timeout there to kind of keep some clock. But the penalties are a killer.
A dead ball foul, delay game on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Well, this doesn't that penalty really does not hurt them at all.
So Darren Sunkett. See him roaming the sidelines. Been doing it for 20 years.
Great coach. Great program.
Bennett will indeed kick it. Prio's going to let it bounce. It bounces sideways. He gets a break. And at the 24-yard line with 3:09 remaining in our first half, Cary-Grove has the football and a chance to take a significant lead to halftime. Robert Battle trying to escape. He cannot. Cary-Grove football when we come back.
Would you look at that? I'm in the classroom again. But this time, I can apply these skills to make some money. Lots of money.
Have a cough, sore throat, or fever, or need care now for pink eye, a urinary tract infection, or a rash? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Get care in person, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day, even holidays, and walk out with a prescription for your care if needed. Make a reservation today or start a virtual visit 24/7. It's just that easy. Find a location near you. osfoncall.org/urgent care.
Cary-Grove with a 15-6 lead as we are closing in on halftime here in Normal at Hancock Stadium. Matt Rodewald, Jack McInerney, Casey Standahar with you. This is earlier in the season, a pivotal moment. Huntley on Cary-Grove's homecoming, going for the win with no time in the clock, and they got it. Watch this, and he gets it across. They called it no good at first. See that official getting out of the way? He got the call right. It took a minute, and he also took a beating on that. You can see the discussion and confusion. Ultimately, they got it right. That was Jake Witt with the catch and turn for Huntley, by the way. And since then, they haven't lost. 11-2 mark. It's a missed extra point, and that play, those are the only reasons they're not undefeated.
It's amazing.
A missed extra point coming against Prairie Ridge in a game that both teams were just beating the snot out of each other. Both coaches said afterwards, I'm glad we're in different classes because I don't think we can do this again. So Cary-Grove gets the football back, and it's Abrams up the gut.
Morgan Abrams on the
maybe two on that.
Tackled by Carmel.
But you want to talk about a couple things. One, officials getting out of the way of that one. And two, the discussion that they had, because there's no replay. They had to get that right live, and they did.
Well, that's a good crew when they do that.
And so that was a week 7. And they have been phenomenal ever since. Pitch to Prio. Look at all the space he has to work with. Prio to the outside to cut back in. And the cavalry came for the Flyers, but he gets out of bounds across midfield.
Good play right there by Peyton Seberg. Riding the fullback. He does a great job riding the fullback, which draws the linebacker's inside, as you can see, and then he pitches the ball. Just a very effective way of getting the ball outside by running that option with the pitch. Now, normally, for a team like this and how it's been for Cary-Grove, that pitch is like a pass.
Yes.
And they do it very effectively because they're so good with the fullback inside.
Credit to Holden Boone on the kickout block right there. It was a real good one. Here's Abrams up the gut again inside the 40, but here's the first flag of the day, we think, for Cary-Grove that comes flying in from the back. It's in the area of holding. Honestly, the first mistake we've seen from Cary-Grove in 22 minutes of football.
Yeah, holding, offense, number 62, 10-yard penalty, play first down.
Penalties in their program at all. The repetition that they have with this offense starts out with the Pop Warner programs.
And maybe a handful. And part of it has to do with the offense because, you know, when you're running almost the same type of motion, you're not opening yourself up to mistakes, penalties, downfield holds, you know, illegal man downfield, that sort of thing. And there's no delay of games. You know what you're doing. You know which play you're running, or at least the system of plays that you have in mind. Abrams stuffed right there and stopped. And nice play from Leon Howard, the sophomore. The clock continues to run.
That's one of the reasons I tried to tell my parents while I was continually going to summer school every year, was because I wanted to make sure I got those classes the right time and the right way.
I did the same thing, by the way, so I understand the fight you're talking about. What do you mean it's different in the summer? Oh, it's that different. Second down. Prio on the pitch. Can he get a block there? No, he cannot. So, and that's going to be the tricky part. Charles Bass blowing that one up, trying to force it to the outside. It stops the clock.
What I like about this, though, Matt, is that they have run that outside option relatively effectively after pounding the fullback up inside. So that's negating some of the secondary help coming up to make the plays. They've done it often enough to make that fullback play inside effective.
I think the key, though, to this option, the pitch at least, is having a kick-out block to make sure you have a cutting lane, because you're not going to outrun anybody for East St. Louis on the outside. But if you can find a lane to get through them, Prio in motion. They pitch it to the outside again. And he cuts back in, and he gets to about the 48-yard line. Darren Sunkett is going to use a timeout because fourth down is coming. It will force Cary-Grove to punt.
Well, it looks like an awful short amount of yardage there to force them to punt.
So it'll be 4th and 10 coming up. That holding penalty really ending the drive. With 1:32 to go.
Yeah, at first, both the outside options looked like there were going to be a lot more yardage than there were. But what's the most effective tool against the team that has great speed? And this is what Cary-Grove did 2 years ago. You negate speed by running right at it. You don't run away from it. You run right at it. And that's usually between the tackles. Going outside is plays that occasionally help you, but not as often as you want. You've got to run up inside and run right at that speed.
Well, Nick Hissong, of course, 224 yards in that game on the ground. His little brother, Jack, is your right tackle, number 59. You see at the edge of your screen. And so, again, we talk about family affair all the time when it comes to the Catholic League and all the private schools, for sure. Generations and generations. We've seen this with Cary-Grove as well, whether it's the Seabergs, the Hissongs, or what have you. There's a family element to it. And on fourth down, again, Peyton Seaberg is your punter as well. We've seen them convert. They converted a fake punt last week where Peyton Seaberg read an option against Lake Zurich. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that here at midfield with 1:32 to go in this second quarter.
This would not be at all the time to do it. Well, look at...
That's what he did last week against Lake Zurich. Instead, he chose to punt. And how far did it go? Where will they mark it?
Well, that fake punt would certainly depend on down and distance.
Going to mark it and walk it back from the 10. And right at the 20-yard line. This is what it looked like 2 years ago. Lots of lanes on the running on the outside. So a lot of what we're seeing here is what we saw then. And even a hint of throwing as well. But Cary-Grove was able to stay with it, play the conversion game. And his song up the middle for a touchdown, and it was a game to remember for a long time, certainly for you, as you were there calling that and watching it unfold before your eyes. That was a very good Cary-Grove team, and 14-0 state champion back in 2021. And Bennett was open with a lot of space to run, but he fell. Pickup of only 5 clock runs.
Now that's a perfect example of how you want to get a receiver wide open. They're dropping deep. Get him the ball and let him use his speed and athleticism to make a big play.
Here's Battle scrambling. Gets away from a tackler and looked like Connor Anderson was about to get the ball out. First down, they move the chains.
One thing he's got to do is watch how he's swinging that ball around as he's running. It's going to end up on the ground.
19 yards in the pickup, 1st and 10 from the 44. Receivers split out to the right, 2 of them with Bennett on the outside. Woods to Battle's left. Battle over the middle. He's got Watson. First catch for him today. Gets to the outside, and he was able to use the block to get around the corner and get out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about, is spread them out, get the ball to your athletes that have great speed and dexterity. Now, see, what they're doing is those routes are all shallow routes because the linebackers in secondary are dropping so deep. They just run shallow crosses and let them run with the ball.
Battle back to work. Pressure. Nowhere to throw. And his sack. Thrown to the ground. Thomas Battaglio with the sack. And it forces East St. Louis to use a timeout.
And remember, they used the timeout early in that first quarter. That could come back to haunt them right now.
This was a coverage sack, a definition of it.
Well, and the thing is, they have coverage against a quarterback like this is really an excellent call, because when you get a guy that's running around like that for a high school defensive back, that is a lot of pressure to stay with those receivers.
Battaglio came flying up there after a bit. Nobody open in the middle of the field, and so that'll be 2nd down and 14, but down in distance is more so less important compared to where they are in the football field.
And this is explosiveness of these receivers can give you an indication of what might happen in the second half as East St. Louis gets comfortable throwing the football and the kind of routes that they want to use. Now, granted, Cary-Grove wouldn't be in this type of defense in the normal situation.
Why is this drive important? East St. Louis will have the football coming out of the second half. If they can put a score together here, tack on another score, that keeps that Cary-Grove offense off the field a long time. Split out to Watson and stopped at the 34 and driven down right at the 35-yard line. Clock ticking. 1 timeout. Flyers haven't used it. And so they go quick. 1 timeout left on the board. No timeouts according to us. Watson, or rather, Battle will throw to the right side. It's Rico Bond. Did he get a foot down? He did not. They say incomplete. 2 seconds left.
Wow.
Boy, that looked close.
Yeah, we're kind of blocked here by some of those people on the sidelines, but what a nice throw by Battle.
Let's watch it again. Yeah, no timeouts, and the scoreboard is wrong, so we correct ourselves in that. Watch this. Did he get... Ooh, that was close. I think they got it right, but the shadows are really causing a problem from a vision standpoint. 2 seconds left.
And that official, Matt, was very demonstrative in his call, so he was obviously very positive about it.
Final play of the first half. Battle will throw it towards the end zone. No one is there, and it goes incomplete, and so Cary-Grove survives the threat at the end of the first half, and they will go into the break with a 15-6 lead on East St. Louis. That catch, had that been completed, changes the entire playbook right there. You have a host of options. One of them unlikely a field goal, but at least a chance for some points. And so East St. Louis finding himself in familiar position that they did 2 years ago against Cary-Grove, now trailing going into the break by a score of 15-6. Let's watch that catch one more time to see if we can get. I'm going to slow it down as best we can.
That's
it's
a great throw.
It's a great throw. It is outstanding, right on the money. But boy, it's hard to see. The shadows are, yeah. My producer, Joe Nicola, is trying to explain, and he's right. It's really hard to see with the shadows right in that spot of the field, and it will only get worse as we get into the second half because of the sun angle. Rico Baum thought he was in. The official said otherwise, and so we go to the half. 15-6 with Cary-Grove doing what they do on offense, scoring twice, getting a couple of conversions, and doing it on the ground. The 129 yards rushing. Let's check in with Casey Standahar.
Coach, Logan Abrams with that opening drive touchdown. Prio also responds. How important is an early lead against this Flyers team?
Oh, it's tough. I don't know how many times, in the last about 12 weeks or so that they've been trailing. So, but it's halftime. So, but it feels, it's good. We're in a good spot right now.
Your defense stops the 2-point conversion attempt. What can you say about their efforts so far?
Unbelievable. Just fighting and clawing, and got to put another half together.
Coach, thank you so much.
All right, thanks.
Darius, what's up in Chicago?
What's up here, Casey? We're watching quite a barn burner down there at Hancock Stadium. Is this the pace you kind of expected here?
Well, barn burner if you expect a methodical running game, and even East St. Louis, I think pace of play is what surprises me most. East St. Louis is kind of playing methodical as well, and that surprises me.
Yeah, 15-6 lead here for Cary-Grove over East St. Louis here at halftime. It was 30-20 the last time these teams met in the championship game. We got the highlights for you when we come back.
Attention high school students. If you're tired of hearing the same old college debt story, we've got an exciting alternative for you. Join the Mid-America Carpenters Union and let your career dreams take flight. You can earn great pay, enjoy no-cost health insurance, and secure a stable retirement, all with no college debt and an elite career that's here to stay. It's time to build your future your way. Ready to carve your path to success? Contact the Mid-America Carpenters Union today to learn how you can unleash your potential.
Prepare for the holidays with great Black Friday deals at Menards. We have the perfect gifts for your family and friends, or to help finish your projects, both big and small. Now's the perfect time to hurry in and get these amazing stocking stuffers and other fantastic gifts. Menards Black Friday deals are so great that even Santa himself can't resist.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you can go from player to coach, from the ground to the sky.
So close your eyes, envision the roar that is a spirit of thousands of Salukis. Capture this moment and go forward together.
You never know when you might be involved in an accident, so please put my number in your phone, 312-6-million. Injury law made personal, that's Ankin Law.
The IHSA, committed to keeping student-athletes safe. Through educational initiatives and national partnerships, we're going the distance to develop safer protocols for our teams. Plus, we continue to improve scheduling and conditioning to reduce injuries from preseason through each state championship. 31 sports, 350,000 student-athletes, and one goal, player safety. The IHSA, the future plays here.
Welcome back to the IHSA TV network. Darius Joshua here and Edgy Tim O'Halloran here to take you through the halftime here of the 6A championship game. Cary-Grove with a 15-6 lead over East St. Louis. I don't know if that half could have gone better for the Trojans, especially getting that stop there right at the end of the
Yeah, it did. This is exactly how they want to play this, and so far it's worked out for them. We'll see.
East St. Louis going to start the second half with the ball. But let's go through the highlights of that first half as the Trojans have the 9-point lead. Here, opening drive, a big run from Logan Abrams, setting up another run from himself to cap off a 75-yard drive. 15 plays on that one. 2-point conversion as well to make it 8-0 here. Robert Popp's battle for East St. Louis finds Rico Bond. That's a tight window there. He gets it in there. He'd cap it off with a touchdown run to make it 8-6 as they would have stopped on their 2-point conversion attempt. Trojans with the ball once again, and how about this? The 17th completion of the season for Peyton Seaberg. He's got 11 touchdowns on those completions. This one to Andrew Prio. That makes it 15-6 here at halftime. That is perfect execution, you would think, for Cary-Grove, where they used the run all throughout that first half and then set up that touchdown pass.
Wait a minute. What is it passing again? How many attempts and how many touchdowns?
17 completions on, I believe it's 29 attempts, 11 touchdowns.
It's amazing. It becomes your big play. If Cary-Grove needs a big play, the pass is the big play. And obviously, it's been very effective and it hasn't changed. I mean, Cary-Grove is playing this like they're playing a Friday night in the Fox Valley. No difference. Someone forgot to tell them this is a state final. They're just playing a normal, regular Cary-Grove game, and it's working to exactly how they want so far.
And that was on 4th and 2. I don't think anyone in the stadium expected a pass there for the Trojans, but they use that to their advantage. So as I said, the Flyers, though, will start the second half with the ball. What do you think they need to do differently?
Like I said, maybe pace of play, change things up a little bit, try to get a little frenetic, get people moving around, and big plays. I mean, you have to get some big plays here. You've got to shake things up and get Cary-Grove back on their heels a little bit.
Yeah, East St. Louis put up 57 in the championship game a year ago. When these two teams met in 2021, it was 37-36. Cary-Grove, so you would expect a lot more scoring to come here in the second half.
You would, but if it's up to Cary, they're going to keep taking the air out of the ball and keep controlling clock and not give it back.
We'll see what the Flyers do to start the second half here as they trail 15-6 at halftime. They trailed 30-20 in that first matchup way back in 2021. Didn't have much trouble last year in their championship game. We'll see if there could be our second repeat champion of the day. Halftime here of the 6A championship. 2 more games to come as well today. We'll get you ready for those when we come back.
December 6th, the News Nation Republican primary debate with SiriusXM's Megyn Kelly, News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas, and the Washington Free Beacon's Eliana Johnson. To find News Nation on your TV, go to joinnn.com.
Let's get real clear. If you have psoriasis and are experiencing joint pain, it could be psoriatic arthritis. Both are believed to be caused by excess inflammation inside the body. Get real with your dermatologist and ask about Real Clear Skin today. Let's get real clear. If you have psoriasis and are experiencing joint pain, it could be psoriatic arthritis. Both are believed to be caused by excess inflammation inside the body. Get real with your dermatologist and ask about Real Clear Skin today.
If you're searching for that great gift idea this holiday season for that guy or gal that loves to hit the links, look no further than WCIA3's Golf Tour Extravaganza. 15 courses, $400 value for only $100. Grab yours today.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis symptoms.
With my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. But just okay isn't okay.
And I was done settling.
If you still have symptoms after a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq is different and may help. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can dramatically relieve RA and PSA symptoms, including fatigue for some. It can stop joint damage, and in PSA, can leave skin clear or almost clear.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Done settling?
Ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq.
And take back what's yours.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Back here on the IHSA TV network, halftime of our 6A championship, Cary-Grove with a 15-6 lead in this game. 2 more games to come here in the high school football season here in the state of Illinois. Next up, 7A championship between Mount Carmel and Downers Grove North. And then to close out the day, another rematch from last year, Loyola Academy and Lincoln Way East in the 8A championship. Of course, that next game coming up, Mount Carmel has several championships in their their tenure. They're trying to add another one to their double-digit career mark.
They do. I'm really interested to see how Downers North defensively can slow down a Mount Carmel offense. As you well know, Darius, has just been on fire in the postseason. So interesting matchup for sure. Also, another young player, sophomore quarterback Owen Lansue for Downers North, and big name to watch.
And Mount Carmel, another one of our potential repeat champions, Loyola Academy trying to do the same as well. East St. Louis, though, trailing here at the half, 15-6. They need to do some work if they want to win back-to-back championships, because Cary-Grove has the lead, and this play being the separator. Peyton Seberg over the top with a pass for a touchdown. They're up by 9.
Attention high school students. If you're tired of hearing the same old college debt story, we've got an exciting alternative for you. Join the Mid-America Carpenters Union and let your career dreams take flight. You can earn great pay, enjoy no-cost health insurance, and secure a stable retirement, all with no college debt and an elite career that's here to stay. It's time to build your future your way. Ready to carve your path to success? Contact the Mid-America Carpenters Union today to learn how you can unleash your potential.
Prepare for the holidays with great Black Friday deals at Menards. We have the perfect gifts for your family and friends, or to help finish your projects, both big and small. Now's the perfect time to hurry in and get these amazing stocking stuffers and other fantastic gifts. Menards Black Friday deals are so great that even Santa himself can't resist.
All season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you could know, from player to coach, from the ground to the sky.
So close your eyes, envision the roar that is a spirit of thousands of Salukis. Capture this moment and go forward together.
Welcome back. The halftime stats are brought to you by Lyona. Start your career in construction today at LyonaCareers.org. 15-6 lead here for the Trojans. What sticks out to you, Edgy Tim?
Well, again, time of possession really surprising for the fact that, it seems like Cary-Grove's been on the field forever. We talked about East St. Louis being methodical. That needs to change. They need to ramp up the pace here.
They actually have run more plays, 28-27 here in the first half. Second half action coming up. Here's Robert Palp's battle. He'll need to have a big second half. Flyers start with the ball. Matt Rodewald and Jack McInerney take you through the rest of the action.
Matter of Fact with Soledad O'Brien.
There's a world beyond the Washington Beltway. Most of the time, that's where you'll find us. Moving past the sound bites and spectacle, engaging people and telling stories that have been ignored, forgotten, or sensationalized. I'm Soledad O'Brien. For thoughtful perspective, fresh ideas, and conversations as diverse as America, join me for Matter of Fact.
Matter of Fact with Soledad O'Brien, Sundays at 10 on X49.
Imagine no possession. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing
sun-splashed afternoon here in Normal on the final Saturday and the final day of the high school football season here in Illinois. Matt Rodewald, Jack McInerney back with you here in the booth, and we've watched this Cary-Grove triple action befuddle this East St. Louis defense, and Logan Abrams sets the tone. We've really seen why.
Well, the thing is that actually with Sean Payton at the quarterback spot, Sean Payton, I can't believe I said that. But,
Pete Seberg,
the thing is that he knows how to read that. And it is a read up front. As soon as he sees how they're playing it, that's exactly what he's going to do. The fullback's going to either get the ball or he's going to pitch it. In most cases, it is going to be the fullback because that's the most direct route, run at speed.
As for East St. Louis, how they adjust, let's check in with Casey Standahar.
Matt, thanks. Coach, a couple of penalties, slowing this one down for the Flyers. What did you want to adjust in the second half?
Well, that's the biggest thing, stop shooting ourselves in the foot. We're having a lot of success moving the ball, but, once you get behind the chains, it makes it a lot tougher. So if we can stop committing those errors, we'll be fine.
Hot battle with the ball one time. He scores a touchdown. How do you get the ball in the hands of playmakers like him a little bit more in the second half?
Just keep doing what we're doing, and, we'll be fine.
Thanks, Coach. Matt?
All right, thanks, Casey. Of course, Darren Sunkett knows the same thing we do in terms of trying to adjust to this run game. We want to show you exactly what they're trying to do. And from Cary-Grove's standpoint, let's watch this play develop. This is just a standard 1st and 10 play here. Logan Abrams behind number 11 here. You see Boone in motion. Abrams the fake, and we freeze it right there. You see all the traffic in the middle of the field.
Well, all the traffic because they're trying to come down on the fullback, who's the main aspect of this offense. And then Seberg reads that collapse by the outside linebacker and pitches it. Watch the left side of your screen here. They'll collapse coming down, and that's his key to pitch the football. There's the dive. He collapses down. He gets the ball outside because they cannot recover the way they are with their shoulders turned towards the quarterback. Good block upfield. He makes the turn, gets up the field. That's what it's all about. After you run that fullback about 5 or 6 times, get the ball to the outside. Perfect example right here with this angle. Watch the fullback. Watch how they squeeze down right there. And they block off the backside. He comes out and with the pitch right here. That's exactly how it's written up. And a great job of execution right here by Cary-Grove.
We've heard coaches for years, and I mean decades, say when you run against this, find the ball, find the ball, find the ball. They haven't done a great job of finding the ball. They need to do a better job in the second half.
Easier said than done. When you're collapsing down inside and you got all those bodies there, you sometimes lose track of where the football is. That's what's happening in East St. Louis, and they better find that ball right now because Cary-Grove is going to run it in the second half and run that clock.
Speed and athleticism can be used against you because of how fast you crash down. We saw that right there, exactly how it can be used against a team like East St. Louis. It was a problem 2 years ago, and it becomes a problem again. Now, the flip side of that, Jack, is the time of possession for East St. Louis. They've done a nice job countering on their own offensive side of the ball. They've actually had time of possession 8 more seconds, 12:04, 11:56.
Well, it's interesting what they could do in 11 seconds because they have that big play ability. But, the thing is that they opened it up on that last drive, and that's something that they talked about probably at halftime was, we need to secure the line of scrimmage so that we can make those plays downfield. And when you have Battle at quarterback, a young player that can throw the ball extremely well, as we showed in that last drive, but also a guy that can keep the play alive with his feet. He's just an outstanding quarterback, and East St. Louis is going to have to utilize his abilities in the second half.
Darren Sunkett talked about penalties. They're shooting themselves in the foot, and we'll talk about penalties for them, 6 of those, and one of them resulting in extra points because it was on a 2-point conversion, or rather on a PAT that gave Cary-Grove the chance to go for 2 on a shorter field, so to speak. But Cary-Grove with one penalty that nearly cost them some serious points. That holding penalty that ended their drive gave East St. Louis the football back before the half, and they survived a last-minute ditch effort to get into the end zone before the break.
Well, East St. Louis did what they needed to do in that first half to stay in the ball game. They were very effective throwing the ball. They were 10 of 12. But to offset that 10 of 12 passing, they had 6 penalties. And so that hurt them in many of the drives. They've been averaging over 6 yards a play, which is real good. And on the other side of that coin, Cary-Grove has been averaging 5.5, and that's exactly what they want to do. They're not that big explosive team like East St. Louis. They're a ball control, run the football, manage that clock, and with 5.5 as their average per play, that's exactly what they want to do.
Cary-Grove has done a nice job against the Purdue commit. The Jesse Watson All-Stater, just 2 catches for 26 yards. But they'll have to keep going for another half as we get set to go. Apgar's kick into the end zone. Watson lets it fall, and East St. Louis will start 1st and 10 at their own 20. Just 6 points in the first half for East St. Louis.
Hard to believe. And this is going to be interesting right here, Matt, because if Cary-Grove can stop them in this first possession, you know, East St. Louis is coming out here after doing a pretty nice job on that last drive that they had prior to halftime. That's going to kind of quelch their confidence level.
The Flyers started their season on this field. How will they end the season on this field? We have a half to find out with Pap's Battle in shotgun. They give to Woods. And they go to work, maybe a yard or 2. And
he's down.
You can see Jesse Watson does get up. Trying to test an ankle a little bit. We've seen injuries today be costly for teams. Joliet Catholic, one of them. H.J. Grigsby went down in the first half. The game completely changed. East St. Louis, by the way, looking right into the sun. 2nd down and 8. Battle the snap. He will throw. Right side, Bennett with the catch. And the first down. Boy, he threw that in a real tight window to make that catch for Bennett.
I question that throw, but it worked out pretty well for him. He's got a strong arm. I mean, oftentimes people think of him as more of a runner, scrambling quarterback, but he's got a very strong arm. Relatively been effective the last 2 years. He's been a 3-year starter.
And he had Moran and Anderson right there bearing down on him. 1st and 10. Bennett, short route, room to run, away from a defender or 2, and got all the way out to midfield. Battaglia is trying to chase him down. Kyle Jarecki with also from the D-line coming all the way out. Pickup of 20 on that one.
Well, that particular play is more effective for East St. Louis because they got the speedsters and the athletes out on the edges that once they catch the ball, even if it's behind the line of scrimmage, they're liable to gain another 20, and there's a game plan right there what they're going to do.
Bennett with his 9th catch of the day, only gets about 4 or 5 this time, but he's trying to sidestep defenders the whole time. And Connor Anderson saying he should have been down back here at the 49. There's conversation about where he was down exactly.
Well, eventually, we're going to see a situation where these corners are put on an island, and they're forcing them to make the play in the open field, which is rather difficult against outstanding athletes that can run with the football.
Battle will scramble, now throws, and he has Bennett. Did he keep a foot down? It looked like he did.
I think he got it.
What a catch. He slipped that left foot in.
That was a great play by Battle.
Bennett knew exactly where he was on the field. 18 yards on that pickup. Watch this again. Watch his left foot.
Now see how he brought the linebacker up that came up to contain Battle, and that opened it up for the receiver, your run-pass option look. That was a perfect example of exactly what happens when he gets to the edge with that ball.
Bennett, 10 catches, 75 yards. It's Battle this time on the run and keeper. 1st down, maybe a little bit more. Pickup of 10 or 12. And you see exactly what East St. Louis wants to do. They're going side to side, and now Robert Battle has come up limping.
There he has a cramp. Yeah, I think it's a cramp. I hope it's a cramp for his sake.
I don't know how he was hit. He is trying to play through, but he's going to have to go down. They're going to have to stop this.
Timeout for injury.
It was clearly on how he hit, but he's looking at his left knee. We're going to take a timeout. We'll sort it all out when we come back, but potentially a big development for East St. Louis and their offense. Timeout.
December 6th, the News Nation Republican primary debate with SiriusXM's Megyn Kelly, News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas, and the Washington Free Beacon's Eliana Johnson. To find News Nation on your TV, go to joinnn.com.
Let's get real clear. If you have psoriasis and are experiencing joint pain, it could be psoriatic arthritis. Both are believed to be caused by excess inflammation inside the body. Get real with your dermatologist and ask about Real Clear Skin today.
I have active psoriatic arthritis, but with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm feeling this moment. Along with clearer skin, Skyrizi helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue, and is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
There's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Welcome back to Hancock Stadium here in Normal on the campus of Illinois State University. Cary-Grove with a 15-6 lead, and East St. Louis seeing an injury they absolutely cannot afford to have with Robert Pops Battle. Cannot put pressure on his knee, and now a freshman backup, Reese Shanklin, will take over and lead the Flyers. Battle was on a designed run, and he was hit awkwardly, and I think it's his right knee. Let's watch it again. He keeps it here. Watch the hit coming in for Patrick Weaver. And I think it was probably Jack Roken that the contact he had. It was a first down, and now Shanklin will hand off. It's Woods. Big hole up the gut. Woods to the end zone. Touchdown, East St. Louis. 18 yards for Woods on the score, and a touchdown to get Cary-Grove, or rather East St. Louis, within striking distance of Cary-Grove.
Well, that was a pretty good first play for the new freshman quarterback to come in on the state championship game.
That's a here, go run the ball while I get comfortable.
And that play really needs to be given credit to that offensive line of Tillman, Hamilton, Mays, Robinson, and Taylor. They really did a nice job there of opening up the seam for him to get through. See, they're having personnel problems right now.
Yep. Play clock does not, it's frozen right now at 25. And I think they got a big break on that. So Shanklin for the extra point as well. He is the kicker. He's going to be on the field a lot more. And the kick is good. East St. Louis gets it to a 15-13 game. Watch the touchdown again.
Well, you can see everybody pulling, and he cuts right back behind them because they kind of over-pursued, which gave him a great cutback lane. See, everybody's flowing, so is the defense. You see that hole right there. That's just also a great job of running, but a great job of acting by the offensive line when they pulled, everybody thinking that he was going to follow them, and a good cutback against the grain.
Larvius Woods, a junior, more than 800 yards rushing on the year to cap off that 7-play, 80-yard drive for 5 minutes and 57 seconds, and he does so with his 18th touchdown of the season. Well, East St. Louis came out, did what they needed to do to respond to start the second half, and it puts all the pressure on this Cary-Grove offense to continue to do what they've been doing.
And doing it well,
yeah.
We might add, in that first half. They did ran their offense extremely well.
This will be Prio at his own 3-yard line. Prio up the middle, penalty on the play. He's going to go for a long ride across midfield, racing towards the end zone. He will get there for the touchdown, but hold the phone as there are 2 flags back on the other side of the field.
Wow. I think anybody sees the flags but us.
And the sun glare is a Cary-Grove sideline looking right into it.
And they're not picking it up yet.
And it's going to be holding, and it's going to bring it back.
Now the reverse happened really quickly here. Now all of a sudden East St. Louis fans are cheering, and Cary-Grove side went silent. What a great run.
Now, I know these kids are in condition, the best shape of their lives, but that's also an extra 93 yards of running he didn't need because of the penalty, but see if we can find it.
Well, there's a takedown on the left side of your screen. There's
might have
another
been-
one right there. But you can't take away the fact that he had a great run right here. Got to give him credit for a great run back.
So where did they marked the penalty at the 31, which means it's going to be walked back to the 21-yard line. So it'll be okay field position, so to speak, but a backbreaker, as you saw that one go the distance for 97 yards. Not to be just their second penalty of the afternoon.
Well, again, first down is very crucial with this offense, and this will be a key play for them on first down here.
So Cary-Grove goes back to work with Peyton Seaberg under center. It's Abrams for 2, maybe 3 yards. And so from the 15 is where they started this drive. That will get them out to the 18-yard line.
Now, East St. Louis did a little something different on that particular defensive move. They still had the nose man right there, but they brought a linebacker up to fill the other gap. He slanted back into a gap, and the linebacker filled the other gap.
You can look at Mekhi McDowell, 5'10", 290-pound senior. Play clock down to 10, by the way. They just got out of the huddle. They cannot afford a penalty, like a delay of game penalty. They get rid of it. Instead, it's Abrams. He gets to the 19-yard line. That's the first time they've really stuffed Cary-Grove right at the line of scrimmage all day.
Sometimes movement on the defensive line is very helpful against a team like this. The reason being because they have schemes, blocking schemes that they want to run. So you show them one look initially when they first come up. And once they put the hand on the ground, you shift or move. You just saw that by the nose man.
8 guys in the box. They're 4 of 7 on third down. Prio in his waggle motion.
Now you see him, excuse me, Matt, quarterback looking back over the sideline after they saw that movement and determining what kind of run they want to call here.
Boone was in motion, and it's Prio that's going to go against the short side of the field, but that didn't work that time. And so 4th down coming up, and Seaberg is going to have to punt.
And East St. Louis is going to get good field position here.
And they run it to the short side of the field, and a good block by Boone, but too many.
Well, and the corner came up immediately. He didn't hesitate, knowing that they weren't going to run any RPOs off of that. He came up and stuffed that play immediately. The corners can't do that because the safety is coming over the top to help him out.
Seaberg is going to wait. Then he does punt.
Nice kick.
That will sail for Rico Bond, who calls a very late fair catch. And East St. Louis will take over at its own 39-yard line. The Flyers in position to take the lead when we come back.
When you plant Whiffles hybrids, you're making a statement that independence and family-owned means something on your farm. So make your choice. Plant your independence. Plant Whiffles.
Every day, Union Concrete contractors are fueling a foundation that lets our city stand tall. They bring the tools, training, and know-how required to bring your commercial projects in on time and with the highest levels of safety. Visit concreteil.com today to browse Northern Illinois' top union contractors specializing in commercial concrete and find the contractors you need to get your job done right.
Every year, you have a choice. One that says staying independent and family-owned means something on your farm. So plant your independence. Plant Whiffles.
Back with with you on the IHSA TV network. Quarterback Pop's battle for East St. Louis. Obviously out right now with that right knee injury. He's been pretty emotional talking with trainers, trying to go back in. They were taping his right knee in his shin area. He was massaging that knee with trainers and stretching, testing how much pressure he could put on it. Trainers do think he's going to be okay. I got a few thumbs up from them, so we'll see if he returns here in the fourth quarter.
All right, Casey, thank you so much. You can see the emotion and the want to get back on the field, and coaches trying to tell him no, but here's the injury again. And on the hit, just went down awkwardly with that right knee.
You can see the expression when he hits the ground right here. Watch the expression on his face right there.
And it was Jack Roken who came flying in and just got a piece of that leg. And now it's in the hands of a freshman, Reese Shanklin, with Woods up the gut. Hit and bouncing off tacklers all the way down to the 45-yard line. It won't matter who's at quarterback if Laborus Woods is doing that.
Well, they want to take the pressure off that freshman quarterback and give it to some of the veteran running backs. And that's exactly what they're doing, and it's being very effective so far.
Shanklin, by the way, 7 of 16 in the air on the year for 119 yards. He's thrown 1 interception, but that's it. Woods again, stopped at the line of scrimmage. That's a big stop for Siski, who came flying in, his 8th tackle for loss in the season, and another injury. This is Aiden Taylor on the ground. And they stopped the game, so he will have to come out.
Looks like.
Let's figure out what happened here.
He's
your
pulling,
left tackle
getting on the outside here.
Right there. Oh, and right from behind. Sometimes they get caught in the wash.
I think he's okay, though.
Looks like he'll take a deep breath here. And it'll be Terrell Berryhill, the sophomore, who now is at left tackle. Shanklin will throw. Steps up, steps back, now throws, and it's caught by John Daly. And a flag comes in late in the backfield.
It'll be against East St. Louis, I think. Yep.
So that would have brought up 3rd down, and where did they mark it? That would have been 3rd and 11. Do you take this penalty?
Was it 3rd and 11?
It was 2nd and 10. It will be 3rd and 11. Do you take it, or do you decline it and let them run 3rd and 11? We'll see if Brad Seberg puts some pressure on this freshman quarterback.
Yeah, holding, offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty. That penalty is declined.
So Brad Seberg says, all right, we'll see if you can convert on 3rd and 11 here. And it's either the yardage or the downs. Which do you value at this point?
Well, sometimes it depends on the kind of team you're playing against. And 11 yards is no big deal at East St. Louis.
And you don't have a Robert Pops battle on the field, a Division I signee going to Lindenwood, staying home and playing in the FCS next year. It's 3rd down and 11. Shanklin looks, throws over the middle, just overthrows his receiver. He had Rico Bond open, and that will bring up 4th down. And so what will Darren Sunkett elect to do with his quarterback coming off the field? So Rico Bond coming off the field there. It'll be Bennett back to punt. So watch the replay real quick. Ooh, and Rico Bond hit his head pretty good on the turf. Bennett nearly blocked. Prio makes sure to catch it. And the fair catch puts Cary-Grove in position again. They have led the entire way of this Class 6A state championship game. And Brad Seberg and company have dodged some bullets here in the second half.
Well, this is a real important drive for them, not only to get down, but to put East St. Louis in poor field position no matter what, because they've been giving them good field position.
I was going to say clock is one thing, but they got to flip the field if they're going to keep this thing going. East St. Louis, though, can they get some pressure here? It's going to be Seberg on the keep this time. They hadn't done that in a couple of drives. Get out to the 26. That's a big 6-yard pickup. And another injury, as you see another flyer hobbling off.
And part of that was the fact that they saw what East St. Louis was doing between the tackles as far as trying to stop the fullback by giving him different looks and bringing a linebacker up. So you ride the fullback in, and then you go in the next gap over, and that's exactly what Peyton Seaberg did.
Keandre McClendon had to come out, the defensive end. This is Abrams up the middle, and that's close to the first down marker. Injuries really starting to take a toll here.
That first down play was a big play, and now we're looking at 3rd and short. They've got to be able to convert this.
This running attack is going against a secondary that's been left largely ineffective, and those are 3 Division I recruits. They haven't been able to do anything because there's nothing to guard. They haven't been able to fly downhill yet. Abrams up ahead.
Whoa.
And that was really close. And where are they marking it? One official had one spot.
He doesn't have it.
They're going to be a yard short.
Well, when you look
what
at
do you do here?
When you look at East St. Louis's defense, they're playing 11 guys within 5 yards of the football.
It's another 4th down conversion opportunity for Cary-Grove. 2 for 2 on 4th down so far. Remember that pitch to Prio that he got tripped up but survived. Can they do it again? They've got to get to the 30-yard line. It's going to be Seaberg on the keeper, and he's going to be short. He was tripped up in the backfield. It looked like Quentin Kirby came in and grabbed him.
Wow. Yeah, big stop. But what a gutsy play call. Had a lot of confidence in their offense, and East St. Louis came up with a big stop.
What a big defensive play. And the defensive play of the game brought to you by the Union Carpenters and Contractors, partners in building communities and supporting working families. Watch the push. Oh, and he just tripped up.
He had room.
He had room to convert the first down, and it was Mitrell Tillman, the sophomore, his legs flaring out, that got him, the 55 right there. You need a lot of talent, and you need a lot of luck. Here's Bennett, another catch for him. Dives between tacklers, and he's dropped at the 28-yard line.
Thankfully, pass complete to Christopher Bennett.
So can East St. Louis take advantage of outstanding field position?
East St. Louis, the entire game has been living off of that quick outside screen. And sooner or later, they're going to come off of that play and go deep. But it's been effective for them when they can pick up 3 or 4 yards. It's just like a sweep.
Reese Shanklin, the freshman, directing traffic. He'll hand it this time. It's Woods. Woods skirting to the outside through 2 tacklers, and it gets all the way down to the 15-yard line. And suddenly tackling is an issue. And Woods has just been better.
Well, part of that is the offensive line for East St. Louis. They average 275 pounds, but they've done a nice job controlling the line of scrimmage. And that's Tillman, Hamilton, Mays, Robinson, and Taylor.
85 yards for Woods. They go back to work, first down. Shanklin, it's back to Woods, right side. And the point of contact is not till the 11-yard line.
Woods is really the workhorse here.
They'll mark it at the 10.
They're pulling each time that they run him. They're pulling the guard and tackle in either direction if they're going.
Larvius Woods with 13 carries. They go back to work again. Number 14 on the day. He gets 3 yards. Coming in, he only had 114 carries on the entire season, so he's getting above his average at this point. And for East St. Louis with a short field, they are churning this clock out a little bit too.
2 down territory, but we're looking at 3rd and 1 right here. But I don't think they'll be relying on a field goal. They're going to try and take this in, obviously.
Cary-Grove has not been able to get a stop on the run yet. Woods, first down, and right at the 4. It's a better push for Connor Anderson, E. Moran and company, but not enough. First and goal coming up now for the Flyers, knocking on the door to take the lead for the first time this afternoon.
Well, part of this is that up until this point, now it's down to the goal line, but Cary-Grove has been running a three-man front. And so, consequently, they've been getting a good push from East St. Louis's offensive line. You can see right there, you got 3 down linemen. And so right off the bat, it almost gives you 3 or 4 yards if you run right at them, which they're doing.
And back to Woods, and they stop it there, right at the line of scrimmage. Ty Drayton in on the stop. First time we've seen Anthony Cruz as well. They've gone to Woods now 5 in a row. And he finally comes off the field for a breather as they put Ryan Martin back in. Jesse Watson all by his lonesome up at the top of the screen. To Ryan Martin, right side, goal line, and the push, and they finally blow it dead right at the 1.
Ryan Martin on the carry.
And that might be the final play of our third quarter.
Well, that offensive line for East St. Louis has become really active in this third quarter and has really been dominating the line of scrimmage. In the first half, it really didn't do that. But all of a sudden, they got a surge. Maybe it was the fact that they lost battle, and it's one of those psychological things, but they've been very dominant in the third quarter.
They've stuck to the run here with battle out. Can the freshmen and the ground game lead them to take the lead? Cary-Grove's got some work to do. A fabulous finish coming up in our fourth quarter of our Class 6A title game.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Plexiderm. All it takes is 10 minutes to reduce the appearance of under eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shell clay. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms. Take action with our Plexiderm 10-minute challenge. Try it today for only $14.95, plus get free shipping. Visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
If you're searching for that great gift idea this holiday season for that guy or gal that loves to hit the links, look no further than WCIA3's Golf Tour Extravaganza. 15 courses, $400 value for only $100. Grab yours today.
Let's get real clear. If you have psoriasis and are experiencing joint pain, it could be psoriatic arthritis. Both are believed to be caused by excess inflammation inside the body. Get real with your dermatologist and ask about Real Clear Skin today.
When moderate to severe ulcerative colitis persists, put it in check with Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
When UC got unpredictable, I got rapid symptom relief with Rinvoq. Check.
When UC held me back, I got lasting steroid-free remission with Rinvoq. Check.
And when UC got the upper hand,
Rinvoq helped visibly repair the colon lining. Check. Rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission, and a chance to visibly repair the colon lining. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Put UC in check and keep it there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq and learn how AbbVie could help you save.
We're in the midst of a great day of football here in Normal at Hancock Stadium. The first time the state finals have been back here in 25 years. Nazareth Academy becoming the first team to win a state championship with 5 losses on their schedule. 9-5. When you look at the records of the all-time records, usually you see double digits. That will be the only one you see with a 9 next to it. After this one, we will get Mount Carmel and their outstanding offense, and Downers Grove North with their outstanding quarterback. And then a defensive showdown we expect in our 8A title game. A rivalry renewed with Lincoln Way East and Loyal Academy. They have been on a collision course since day one. And you see Robert Pop's battle not on the field for East St. Louis. A knee injury looks like has knocked him out for the rest of this one. And so Darren Sunkett has handed the keys over to a freshman. Reese Shanklin will take the snap. And it's Woods to the goal line and in for the touchdown. East St. Louis taking the lead for the first time this evening.
And they have ran to the right side, I think, in about 8 consecutive plays in this particular drive.
Fourth quarter touchdown brought to you by Delta Dental. Find a dental plan that fits you at deltadentalil.com. Larvius Woods, his second touchdown of the day, 19 yards. And how will they do this conversion? At 19, you could go to 21 and make a touchdown, force the extra point. This is where the math comes in. Nobody told me there'd be math.
If they did, you wouldn't have me as your partner. Right?
Shanklin with some pressure, and Battaglia nearly got it.
Wow.
And it is good, 20-15.
That's the first time I saw an extra point look like a punt going over.
It hung up there for a minute. Let's watch the touchdown again. Woods has been outstanding as they continue to keep it on the ground with the freshman at quarterback.
And, of course, he's been running to the right side, as we mentioned, consecutively about 7 or 8 running plays. And part of it has to do with that right side of the offensive line, starting with the center, Travian Mays, and then it goes to that right guard, Marquell Robinson, and that right tackle, Aiden Taylor, who's on his way to Ball State or Illinois State. Depends on how heavy he's recruited, and if he's comfortable here at Illinois State, he might stay here.
Got to fix the clock there, which looks like they did. One play ran off, so 4 seconds makes sense. So 11:56 remaining in this one. This is the first lead East St. Louis has had the entire day. We've said it a couple of times, and now the urgency continues to pick up. How is Cary-Grove going to respond and stay on the field?
Well, special teams are going to play an important part, and the specialties start with this play right here. Are they going to get any kind of a return to have decent field position to start that ground control, clock dominating offense?
Shanklin, who's already been on the field because of extra point duties and kickoff duties, adding quarterback to it, so he is in a rhythm. And he lets it fly. It will be short and picked up by Prio from the 15-yard line. Prio escapes to the left side, trying to go through tacklers, and he will not have a run back this time, as that will be stopped at the 29. Cary-Grove will take over, 1st and 10, right there. Our 2022 matchup. You know, East St. Louis is basically an extended member of the Fox Valley Conference, because if it's not Cary-Grove, it's going to be Prairie Ridge. And so this is what it looked like, and Jesse Watson with that touchdown as they just blitzed Prairie Ridge. And a lot of the same names you saw last year, they're back this year with Pops Battle and Christopher Bennett, who's had more of an impact this time around. Prio in the pitch. He's got a blocker in front of him for a minute. He'll get through one guy. He won't get through another. And maybe a gain of 2 yards. But this is a different matchup compared to what they saw a year ago.
Well, the combination here is, as we mentioned, East St. Louis has given them different looks between the tackles, which is forcing the quarterback to make different reads, and then that changes the blocking scheme at the last second, so that the offensive line for Cary-Grove is not as aggressive as they normally are.
2nd down and 8. See a lot more movement from the tight ends, whether it's Hornock or Vivadelli. Abrams, who's not had the same push he did in the first half, a pickup maybe of 1. And it's going to force Cary-Grove to be one-dimensional if they're not careful.
Well, this is what East St. Louis wants to do, is force them into throwing the ball when they do not want to. Cary-Grove wants to throw the football when they want to, as they illustrated on that touchdown pass off play action.
Play clock down to 15. Seaberg's got to run all the way back into that huddle.
What a personnel change here.
And they change out.
7 seconds.
Corey Adams comes in the new formation. 3 now in the play clock. They've got to get it off. And they did call a timeout in time. So that is That one does not help Cary-Grove, but they saved the down and distance, and the Eastside fans are roaring with the lead for the first time. 10 minutes and change remaining. Timeout.
Prepare for the holidays with great Black Friday deals at Menards. We have the perfect gifts for your family and friends, or to help finish your projects, both big and small. Now's the perfect time to hurry in and get these amazing stocking stuffers and other fantastic gifts. Menards Black Friday deals are so great that even Santa himself can't resist.
Boy, season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you can go from player to coach, from the ground to the sky.
So close your eyes, envision the roar that is a spirit of thousands of Salukis. Capture this moment and go forward together.
A pivotal 3rd and 7 coming up for Cary-Grove, trailing by 5. They do not want to give the ball back with 10 minutes and change to go. East St. Louis has found their offensive rhythm on the ground with Pop's battle out, but Cary-Grove has not been able to counter, and you can credit the Flyers' adjustments for that.
No doubt about it. This actually could be 2-down territory right here. When you got 10 minutes left, maybe it's a little too early, but depends on what they get on this play.
They just went for it on 4th down, did not get it, turned into a touchdown. It's Seaberg. He's got room to run if he can. Can he get to the corner and get the first down? He will get to the stick. It was one heck of a hit, though, coming in from Smiley Bradford. The first time we've seen him lay a big-time hit. And the Purdue commit comes in and sends a message. But where did they mark it? It is short.
Good angle right here to see how he ducks out. The coverage was really good. He's short.
Short by a couple of inches.
Good job there by Coach Sunkin getting his player off before he started getting a penalty for too much yapping.
They need a full yard. It's Abrams stuffed immediately, and he will not get there. Where did they mark it, though? This might be a friendly spot. Keelan LeGrant is running down the field with the football.
They got to get all these players and coaches off the field.
East St. Louis thinks they've got the ball back on turnover on downs. Where do they mark this?
Coaches, they're gonna measure this, I think.
He got all the way to the 39. He did get there. I think they got the spot right.
Coaches are trying to help him out.
I really think in that second surge, he was able to, although it got it over the 30. I don't think he got past the 39. No measurement. Off we go. Hold on a second.
I mean, this is not a TV review.
Hold on a sec. That was 4th down.
Yeah.
That was 4th down. The chains have not moved. And the officials now having a discussion.
A couple of them are giving them that mark for a first down.
And Brad Seaberg is saying, wait a minute, he has a first down. Why are we not moving the chains? Now we're going to measure.
And actually, they went up and moved the ball. I don't know which direction they moved it.
So we will have our first measurement of the day.
And Cary-Grove got up in that ball real quick and was trying to snap it before they measured it.
Did he get the first down to keep it going?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did, by at least the length of football.
First down, Cary-Grove.
Wow. You talk about a courageous call by Coach Brad Seaberg.
Watch Logan Abrams' second surge. He gets hit initially right here. Now watch this reach. He did get to the 39, but I didn't think he got across. I think he got the first down, but maybe by the nose of the football as opposed to the length of the football. So back to work. Prio stuffed as they're going to work side to side, and I think East St. Louis has figured that out.
Yeah, It's going to be tough for them to get outside with a toss like that. The only way they're going to get outside is if they ride that fullback enough and be able to go to the option, which they ran successfully. Not often, but successfully in that first half.
Watch Jayon Jackson come into your picture with the stuff. He is heading to Michigan.
The offensive linemen were just reaching out, stretching like a zone read on the outside, and East St. Louis just went with them and controlled the line of scrimmage.
It's a loss of 4 counter this time in the push up front, and he doesn't get back to the original line of scrimmage.
This third down play is going to be really crucial as far as what you do on fourth down, because obviously on fourth down he went for it before, but it was only a yard. This could be much, much longer than
another injury here. And this is Bryce Harrison, their starting middle linebacker, leading the team in tackles. A guy with 3 sacks on the season. They can't afford to lose him. We'll check on him when we come back. Timeout.
Smiles. These are the healthy smiles of real Delta Dental members. Folks with access to the nation's largest network of dentists and low-deductible plans with 100% preventive care coverage, all backed by over 65 years of expertise. Go online or give us a call to learn about affordable individual plans that meet your needs. 1-800-335-8215.
Have a cough, sore throat, or fever, or need care now for pink eye, a urinary tract infection, or a rash? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Get care in person, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day, even holidays, and walk out with a prescription for your care if needed. Make a reservation today or start a virtual visit 24/7. It's just that easy. Find a location near you. osfoncall.org/urgent care.
The IHSA Football State Championships are being brought to you in part by LiUNA. Start your career in construction today at liunacareers.org.
East St. Louis dealing with some injuries, and at this point, they're just trying to get as healthy as possible, which means I got to get off the field as quickly as I can, get taped up, and get back in. You see Bryce Harrison doing everything he can to get back on the field. He's up and at him. And so now a 3rd down and 12 for Cary-Grove in big trouble. It's the end around. Here's Prio. He's got a blocker in front of him if he can get to the corner, but he will not. It's Charles Bass on the stop, and a late flag comes in.
That at the beginning of that play.
And another flag.
And that's part of that last flag right there is from the coaches on the sideline.
Sideline warning more than anything else. Darren Sunkett. See him waving everyone back. But that first penalty, curious. It's a great play call, but against any other defense, it works.
Big time. I thought that was going to be a really big play the way it initiated. But the reaction that they have of getting back to the ball.
This is a penalty against East St. Louis.
During the play, got face mask on the defense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Okay, so it's not an unsportsmanlike. It's a 5-yarder. It was off the ball, I believe.
Great reaction right there by the defensive back coming up.
Not sure I saw a face mask. And not on. I don't think it was on the ball. I think it was off the ball. And the sideline warning, as we noted, does not add any additional yardage. It's 3rd down and 1 though. Cary-Grove's push has disappeared. Can Logan Abrams help to get that push back? It's Prio tripped up as they try to go to the outside. And maybe a loss of 1 that time.
Each time they've ran that play, Matt, it's been a...
That's 3 in a row that they've struggled with just to get the corner. And so now we'll have 4th down. Prio. The speed kicking into overdrive for East St. Louis. as they are flying to the football and flying to the edge as well. This is 4th down and 2. They've got to get to midfield. Fake the pitch. Seaberg, can he dive for the corner? He will get the first down. And he had Abrams in front of him, sort of leading the way, and Abrams comes up hobbling.
Cary-Grove first down. Elton Williams the tackle.
Seaberg will move the chains. There is no urgency as long as they can move the chains because of how much time's on the clock. This is an ideal timing drive for Cary-Grove if they can punch it in.
You're exactly right, Matt, but one of the issues has been they've coming down to 4th down in these plays. They need to do something on 1st down.
They have not gotten the push, as we mentioned, with Abrams going through. Can they try that again? They will. Here's Abrams, a big hole, driving 2 tacklers, getting down to the 40, and that's what we saw a lot of in the first half, a pickup of 7 on 1st down.
So very crucial with this offense. You can't emphasize that enough, how critical 1st down is with this particular offense.
We've seen probably 4 or 5 guys get hurt in the last 2 drives alone, and now Smiley Bradford goes down. Boy, this is a game of attrition in week 14. How healthy are you? How conditioned are you? How deep is your roster?
Well, that's a big point right there. How deep is your roster? Because it's crucial. Those down people inside interior of that defensive line, they played so well in the second half, and these guys go down now. There's going to be some big issues.
Not sure how Smiley went down. Again, when we come back to action, though, Cary-Grove will be inside the 40-yard line. 6.5 minutes to go here. So he's going to get up. And I'm wondering.
That's Bradford.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a shoulder.
That's a shoulder. That's what that is. That is him leaning his right shoulder down. It's a lot like what we saw with Ryan Martin, who played through it, although when you looked at him at the time, maybe not a good idea, but that is a key cog that goes out for the Flyers now as we go back to action. The clock is running. Inside the 40, Cary-Grove. They'll give it to Abrams, who gets the first down, and it's at the 35-yard line.
Now, this part of the offense is certainly playing into the game plan with just under 6 minutes and controlling the ball and the clock. You do not want to give it back to them too early, but you certainly have got to score.
You've got to score if you're Cary-Grove. There is no choice at this point, because you may not get it back with enough time, even now. This is the 11th play of a drive that has started back in their own territory, but has slowly churned through. This has taken off 5 minutes already. So the opening play of the 4th quarter was an East St. Louis touchdown. Cary-Grove has had it ever since. And they set up 2nd down and 8. Left hash. Prio in motion. It's Abrams. Big hole this time as he gets down to about the 27-yard line. They'll mark it at the 26 before he's met. And you talk about the attrition we said earlier. Maybe the attrition on the line because it's starting to wear down a little bit for East St. Louis.
Well, that constant pounding, you know, it's one thing if it's for 3 downs and out, but when you've got a 5-6 minute drive going on and you're constantly being hit continually, now here's a 4 down territory to get a yard.
3rd down and about a yard and a half. Abrams, they go right back to it. He gets right to the line of scrimmage and right to the 1st down marker, and that should be enough to move it.
No, that's pretty close. I don't think that was a real good mark.
He's laying across the 25.
It's hard to see down here.
Yep. So they're going to move it 1st down to get everyone out there hobbling with something at this point.
Coach Seberg is happy to let this clock keep running.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 25. There is light at the end of the tunnel for Cary-Grove that has had a lot of darkness here in this second half. Prio in motion. It's Abrams again, pushing to the 21. That's more than enough. 4-yard pickup.
Can you imagine the conditioning that he has had to go through? I mean, when you carry that ball as often as he does, and it's not like you're out in the open territory where it's a single tackle by a cornerback. He's being pounded by 3 or 4 guys each time he carries the football.
This is a player that Brad Seberg has said his staff has been waiting for years. He was over the weight limit to play running back at the youth football level, and he's only been playing in this position for 2 years. Abrams again back into the hole and met right at the 20. He has had the load 7 straight times. This is a guy who's a discus state qualifier as a freshman and a sectional qualifier as a wrestler. You want to talk about conditioning? This guy's never out of shape.
That was a big stop right there by East St. Louis. A real big stop.
We have definitely entered 2-down territory. There is no doubt there, but how will 3rd and 5 set this up as we cross the 3-minute mark? This drive has taken 9 minutes. 3rd and 5. They've got to get to the 15-yard line. It's the pitch this time to Prio. He's got a block in front of him. He's going to follow it inside the 10. A first down all the way to the 7. And the Trojans are in business.
They set this up so dramatically with 5 or 6, 7 runs right up the middle with the fullback. Now, they did that in the first half when it was really effective. They pounded the fullback up inside, and then they come back with the option, and they turn into big plays. Watch the close down here on the fullback by 19-1. Everybody steps down right there, and he gets outside. You can see 17 trying to relocate, and that was his responsibility. Good downfield blocking right here. This is just outstanding.
Holden Boone has had an outstanding game, downfield blocking. Keelan LeGrant was the one that got caught looking inside. This is the 18th play of the drive. 1st and goal for Abrams. He gets down just leaning forward to get to the 7-yard line. We are at the 2-minute mark as this drive is now taken up 10 minutes.
To do that in a state championship game, to have a drive like this for 10 minutes with the type of offense that you run, that's what it's geared for. And don't want to give the ball back to East St. Louis. And again, you know, this is how it's written up. When you got an explosive team like East St. Louis, give me an offense that's going to run the clock down, and I'm going to control the ball. And that's what we're looking at right now.
It's as dramatic as it gets with 2nd down and goal from the 7. Abrams, a hole inside the 5 to the 3. And the clock runs. And now Darren Sunkett, after about 10.5 minutes, is forced to start using timeouts to try and get the ball back.
And what this does also, Matt, it gives some time to rest for that offensive line for Cary-Grove. I mean, you know, you talk about the fullback carrying the ball each time, but that offensive line has had to produce on each and every play that's in that particular drive.
Kelly Mace, Samuel Diaz, Lucas Burton, Anthony Cruz, and Jack Hissong. They're going to remember this particular drive, regardless of how they finish it out, for a long time.
And part of that comment is also based on the fact that, you know, we give all the praise to the running back. He's getting this, he's getting that, but he's not getting if that offensive line doesn't produce. And they never get enough credit, never and ever.
Abrams has had 11 carries on this drive alone. We have run 19 plays, I believe. Maybe we're up to 20. You never see a 20-play drive, ever.
Well, this might be another record here. We've had more weekend records going on here.
So they come out of the timeout. The Flyers are exhausted. They have been on the defensive side of the football and on the field for the last 10.5 minutes. This is 3rd down and goal from the 1-yard line. It's Abrams up the gut. Touchdown, Trojans! Cary-Grove takes the lead on a dramatic 10.5-minute drive.
Now, this might sound like bad news, but at the end of that first half, we saw what East St. Louis could do with very limited time And based on that, there's a lot of time here for East St. Louis.
This fourth quarter touchdown brought to you by Delta Dental. Find a dental plan that fits you at deltadentalil.com.
Did they give East St. Louis too much time, Matt?
31 carries, 87 yards. Logan Abrams started to get just enough push on that fourth quarter drive, and they will go for 2. East St. Louis has a kicker if they need to, if they can get position. This is key. Abrams will get to the goal line and score. 2-point conversion is good.
And he is exhausted.
Look at that.
Now, the other part of it is he was actually limping going into the two plays before that. I mean, he is just exhausted. I am just watching him.
He got banged up around midfield, and he has done this.
Look at the surge right there by that offensive line. Wow. Great job right there.
That is a lot of exhausted players out there. Here's the touchdown again. How strong is Logan Abrams? 6'3", 200 pounds. That's a sophomore. 19 plays, 71 yards. Abrams touched the ball 14 times, and it took 10 minutes and 41 seconds off the clock. That is Cary-Grove football at its finest.
Well, that's the Fox Valley, no doubt about it. One of the stronger conferences in the state of Illinois. Matches up with the Catholic League and the Duquesne Conference. What a drive.
It's a physical bunch. And they needed everything they had.
Well, and how many calls did you make here at midfield when they were 4th and 1, 3rd and 8, and they were able to pick up all of those so very consistently. And every one of them was a nail biter for them to get that extra yard. We had a measurement at midfield when they went for it for 4th and 2, and they got it by a half a step.
And now Apgar, who is, and we have a whistle before we got started. What was it? Trying to figure.
Coach Seberg's up at the top. He might have called a timeout.
He did call timeout. Now, Jaden Apgar, the kicker for Cary-Grove, has hit the end zone every time. So there's not been a return yet. And you wonder if you want them to take some time off the clock, but that is a risk.
It's a real risk. And even if what you don't want to do is kick the ball. If it doesn't get in the end zone, allow them to set up a return. That's the worst possible thing you can do. Now, if you punch it through and hit a grounder through there,
squib kick the whole time.
You know, it's tough catching it on a bounce, and it's going to break down the return. But the problem is they might get really good field position with that.
And staying in your lanes is always dangerous when you do that.
Well, you talk about special teams making a big difference in a game. This is a perfect scenario for that. Now, you wouldn't normally worry about that if it was a team that didn't possess the kind of athletes that East St. Louis does and the kind of speed that they have.
So let's see where this turns out before they hand it over to the freshman, Reese Shanklin, who will be the quarterback, trying to lead East St. Louis to a state championship with 1:19 to go.
And you can see the lineup up front. It's a hands team situation in case they can handle the ball there and get good field position.
Apgar takes no chances, and he buries it into the end zone. And so East St. Louis will start at their own 20-yard line. 79 seconds for the City of Champions to try and tack on another state championship trophy. And it will be a freshman leading this group.
I thought that was an interesting setup. East St. Louis set up thinking that not that it was going to be an onside kick, but that they were going to try and squib it through so they could have those guys maybe possibly handle the ball and get good field position.
Reese Shanklin coming into this game had thrown for maybe 140 yards total. He's going to need 80 yards now. He's 2 of 3 today. Off we go. Shanklin steps up in pressure. It is coming from behind, and he stopped at the 20. Taken down, Siski with the stop. And a timeout for East St. Louis.
Back by Charles Siski.
I'm on the field to East St. Louis. That is their
They still have.
Let's watch it again.
This is just good pressure, good dominance downfield by the secondary, and that's a freshman trying to get out there. But you got to give credit to Cary-Grove's defensive secondary and the pressure they put on a freshman.
We're talking about all-staters. One all-stater, but all three of them could be when it comes to Bennett, Watson, and Rico Bond. All three have had experience in this position in a state championship game, and you have Cary-Grove trying to defend that with Connor Anderson, Corey Adams, Patrick Weaver, Gavin Henriquez, the strong safety that's up there as well. This has been an outstanding football game. And it's hard to top what we saw 2 years ago, but we might be 69 seconds away from doing so.
That's a good point. I thought that was the best I ever saw. This match is pretty good.
Out of the timeout, 2nd down and 11. 3 receivers near side, 5 wide. It's Shanklin looking. He's got a man over the middle. He'll throw it, and it's intercepted. It's picked off. Patrick Weaver with the interception, and that will seal it for Cary-Grove.
Look at that crowd on the other side of the field. They're going bonkers everywhere over there.
Drive for the ages, followed up by an interception that Patrick Weaver will remember for the rest of his life. Cary-Grove is going to win another state championship and shock the world again. Phenomenal theater here in Normal. It's our Menards Player of the Game. Save big money on all your home improvement needs with Menards. And in the shadows, Patrick Weaver emerges with a football and a state championship trophy for Cary-Grove.
That's just amazing. Putting the pressure on him, force him to come up. Great coverage.
It's a tough throw. Watson trying to come back to it. They'll kneel it down.
Unbelievable.
Flyers have one timeout if they want to use it. And you can hear the roar from the folks from Fox River Grove and Cary that made their way down to Normal. A proud football town that is going to have a whole lot to celebrate tonight. One more for Seaberg. His son takes the knee, and Dad wins another title. Cary-Grove, state champions once again in 2023.
What a ball game. What a ball game. Cary-Grove did what they needed to do.
It's hard to stop the triple option. And then there are moments where you figure it out. And then there are moments that Brad Seaberg saw his offense pull out the most dramatic drive that anyone has ever seen for 10.5 minutes to win a state championship. It doesn't get any better than that.
He made some very, I don't want to say questionable calls because he knows his own offense and he knows his players, but I'll put it this way. He made some real gutsy calls at midfield several times in that drive.
Cary-Grove wins it 23-20. There is a lot to talk about, and this will catch the attention across the state for sure as the Trojans finish the season at 12-2. State champions taking out East St. Louis. And the Flyers will be fine never seeing a Fox Valley Conference opponent ever again. And we're seeing a couple of guys. As the celebration has begun, a couple of guys came over to Pops Battle, who's still sitting on the bench. A couple of coaches from Cary-Grove as well to shake their hands. But the celebration is on. Look at the students. Watch and enjoy.
This is what high school football is all about.
Maybe 2 years ago, there were a lot more non-believers, but because of what happened in that 2021 state championship game, it gave people pause this time around. And so while they may not have believed, so to speak, and they definitely did in their own community, there is an element of curiosity. And boy, were they able to figure out plenty of answers today.
Well, and last year when they really did a number on Prairie Ridge, unfortunately, for Prairie Ridge, it looked as if they solved the program as far as being able to defend that option. But obviously Cary-Grove came back and said, no, don't jump at conclusions here. You did not solve it.
We're going to take a deep breath. We've got a lot to talk about, and a championship a trophy to present as well. Cary-Grove wins it in 2023.
The IHSA Football State Championships are being brought to you in part by Menards, SIU Carbondale, and by Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you could know, from player to coach, from the ground to the sky. So close your eyes, envision the roar that is a spirit of thousands of Salukis. Capture this moment and go forward together.
I'm attorney Howard Ankin. I'm proud to be a 1990 graduate at the University of Illinois. And today, I'm one of the largest filers of workers' compensation cases throughout the state. From Champaign to Chicago and everywhere in between, I'm helping people with auto accidents, work injuries, slip and fall cases, medical malpractice, and any other type of injury accident-related matter. Let me see what I can do for you. Call me at 312-6-MILLION. Injury law made personal, that's Ankin Law.
Prepare for the holidays with great Black Friday deals at Menards. We have the perfect gifts for your family and friends, or to help finish your projects, both big and small. Now's the perfect time to hurry in and get these amazing stocking stuffers and other fantastic gifts. Menards Black Friday deals are so great that even Santa himself can't resist.
Boy, season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Attention high school students. If you're tired of hearing the same old college debt story, we've got an exciting alternative for you. Join the Mid-America Carpenters Union and let your career dreams take flight. You can earn great pay, enjoy no-cost health insurance, and secure a stable retirement, all with no college debt and an elite career that's here to stay. It's time to build your future your way. Ready to carve your path to success? Contact the Mid-America Carpenters Union today to learn how you can unleash your potential.
19 plays, 71 yards, 10 minutes and 41 seconds. Andrew Prio, Logan Abrams, your players of the game, brought to you by Country Financial. Find out why more than 1 million families let us protect their lives and livelihoods. Visit countryfinancial.com for more information. They started that game-winning drive with 11:56 to go in the fourth quarter, and they punched it in with less than a minute and a half to go.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Just stunning to watch that fourth quarter unfold, and we want to hear more about it as we send it down to Casey Standahar.
Matt, thanks, Coach. The belief in your team, it wasn't easy. It was down to the wire. What kind of trust did you have in them today?
Well, whatever trust I had in them, it really stretched it. I'll tell you that. To come from behind, I think that's the first time we've been behind in the playoffs, and to come from behind, to convert the 4th downs we did on that last drive and the effort of 46 here, and then our defense to hold these guys to 20 points, I think, it's speechless.
Patience and execution. How about the way you won? What does the way you won say about Cary-Grove football?
It's everything. It's everything. We're a team. We play as a team. We win as a team. We're not a bunch of individuals. And man, oh man, when you put a bunch of guys that have belief together, and they're just rallied by that belief, it's very powerful. So our kids believed on offense, defense, special teams, and we got done.
Coach, 6A champs, congratulations. Thank you. We'll bring in Logan Abrams now. Congratulations. Thanks for waiting for us. The patience that your team showed, especially defensively, and then you scored 2 touchdowns. How was it a complete effort here tonight?
I mean, wow. It was just, wow, just one hell of a game. I mean, whoa, defense just stopped at the very end with a pick. Oh, wow, it was just crazy. I mean, it's been a long day, but it's all been worth it.
6A champions, how proud are you of yourself and also of the guys behind you here?
I am so proud of my team, and I mean, we start back in the summer and how hard we work together, and it just, I wouldn't want to be here with anyone else.
Congratulations, Logan. Go celebrate. Enjoy. Matt, we'll send it back to you.
Casey, thank you. I think of Nick Hissong and Tyler Pennington. Those are the fullbacks before him. They started learning that position in 5th grade. He's only been doing it for 2 years. Just tremendous. Let's send it down to the ceremonies as we listen in with our public address announcer.
Board members with us this afternoon are Katie Caslett of Dunlap, Dwayne Bates of Glenbard East, and Tom Shergan of Chicago de La Salle. Finishing the season in 2nd place, the East St. Louis Flyers. Individual awards will be presented to Superintendent Arthur Culver. Principal Brittany Green. Athletic Director and Head Coach Darren Sunkett. And the Flyers captains. And this time we will present the 2nd place trophy to the East St. Louis Flyers, who finished the season with a final record of 11 wins and 3 losses. Congratulations to the Flyers. Finishing the season as Class 6A state champions, the Cary-Grove Trojans. Individual awards presented to Superintendent Neil Lazinski, Principal Rebecca Saffert, Athletic Director Ryan Ludwig, Head Coach Brad Seberg, and the Trojans captains. At this time, we will present the state championship trophy to Cary-Grove and the Trojans, who finished the season with a final record of 12 wins and 2 losses. Congratulations to the Trojans.
Sometimes when you win a state championship, like you've seen in blowouts, there's an expectation of realizing, oh my goodness, we're going to hold that trophy. That slowly brings to a kind of a peak, so to speak. Here, there was a lot of doubt until about a minute to go about which trophy they'd be going home with. And for Cary-Grove, the elation there is true and honest as you can get.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I've never, ever been accused of being speechless, but I'm pretty close to being in that position right now. What an outstanding drive for that last score. And the time, even Coach Seberg said he couldn't believe what was going on. There were so many 4th down calls, and this is one of those games that's going to go down. As we mentioned, we thought we had one of the better ones 2 years ago, but I think this matches it.
That final drive was 19 plays, 71 yards for 10 minutes and 41 seconds. Coaches that are watching us around the state, and I know there are a ton of them, go back and watch that over and over and over again to just explain to your kids about what it takes to finish a state championship. And I'm giving credit to East St. Louis because they were exhausted too, trying to fight through that and get there, and they just didn't have enough to finish the job.
Well, they didn't have enough, but Cary-Grove just had a little extra, and they certainly took advantage of it. An outstanding football game.
Outstanding. 25 years of covering high school football in Illinois. I've never seen a drive anything like that. Cary-Grove wins it as a result, 20 23-20, winning their second state championship in 3 years, and memories for the rest of their lives with those students as well. Thanks to all of our staff. We're done. We're going to have shift change coming up. Joe Nicola and our producer and our entire staff, thank you so much. Dave Bernhardt is going to have to do some work to kind of bring the drama back in our 7A and 8A game. No tall task for him. In the meantime, we'll send it back to our studios and say hello to Darius and Tim. Guys.
Matt Mulderall and Jack McInerney taking you through that 6A action. Well, Edgy Tim, 2 years ago when Cary-Grove won the state title, it was a senior Noah Riley sealing it with an interception. This time it's the senior Patrick Weaver sealing that one as well.
You know, again, in that 10-minute plus drive, Brad Seberg will be touring this summer, this coming winter. That will be shown at every coach's clinic across the country. That will be talked about. It will be looked at, deciphered. Unbelievable drive, and what a way to finish out just an incredible game.
Would you say Trojans fans were on the edge of their seat watching that drive?
Very good, sir.
Had to get one in there. Cary-Grove wins the 6A championship 23-20 over East St. Louis with a masterful drive. We'll break that one down for you and show you highlights from this one coming up a little bit after this as they get to host the 6A championship for the second time in 3 years. We'll be right back.
WCIE3 is honoring veterans' voices for celebrating Central Illinois.
There's a difference between a civilian's bad day and a veteran's bad day.
This particular post-Tool 3, we have a program called Mission Canine Warrior. We had an epidemic in the area at the time where young veterans were taking their lives. And I had this idea, I did some research on what dogs do for veterans.
She fills that gap when I don't have the people close to me with me.
Celebrating Central Illinois, sponsored by Copper Creek.
If you're living with diabetes, this is the sound that could change your life.
Great news for people living with diabetes. Now you can wear a continuous glucose monitor and eliminate routine finger sticks. The days of repeated, painful finger sticks are over.
Just call 800-388-0142.
If you use insulin daily to manage your condition, a continuous glucose monitor could help you control your diabetes and reduce or eliminate those painful finger sticks. If you have Medicare or private insurance, US Med can deliver a CGM system right to your door. And if you qualify, there may be little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurer directly. Call now to get your continuous glucose monitoring system so you can take control of your diabetes and get back to enjoying life.
Just call 800-388-0142. That's 800-388-0142.
Let's get real clear. If you have psoriasis and are experiencing joint pain, it could be psoriatic arthritis. Both are believed to be caused by excess inflammation inside the body. Get real with your dermatologist and ask about Real Clear Skin today.
Welcome back to the IHSA TV Network. Darius Joshua here with you, Edgy Tim O'Halloran, to take you through this 6A championship. Cary-Grove coming away with a 23-20 win to claim their second title in 3 years. Earlier in the week, Brad Seberg said he did not have to say to his team that he needed to sell this to them. I'm sure maybe they had to sell a little bit to him entering that fourth quarter with a deficit.
Yeah, again, it's as Brad talked about at the end of the game, it's about Cary-Grove football and what they represent and what they want to accomplish as a program. And they showed it in that 10-minute drive. It really did. I mean, they endured a little bit at a time. They didn't get too greedy, but took the yards where they were able to get it and just controlled the game. And that's something they've done for many years. That goes back to Bruce Kay at Cary-Grove. They have run that offense. And let's face it, it is very difficult to figure out. Very difficult.
East St. Louis looked like they had the answers.
They had it figured out. They had it figured out for a while, but that last drive, it just goes to show you, you have to defend that thing every single play.
Yeah, the Trojans players showing you when you stick with it, eventually it does pay off for you. Let's go through some of the highlights of what was a lower scoring game than we expected, but still delivered quite a lot of excitement. Here, Larevius Woods up the middle for the touchdown to make it 15-13 at Cary-Grove at that point. at this point in this contest, it was kind of back and forth here. Here is Robert Battle finding Rico Bond out on the outside. That would make it an 8-6 lead there at that point for Cary-Grove. He caps off the run with that touchdown there. They did not get the 2-point conversion, though. Here we go, Cary-Grove with the ball once again. And a pass play, one you don't see very often. Peyton Seaberg throwing right to Andrew Prio. That would make it 15-6 at that point. Second half looked like it was going to be all East St. Louis, even with an injury to Pops Battle. Revius Woods getting in for the touchdown there. He does it again later here to give the Flyers their first lead of the game, up 20-15 at that point. But then Cary-Grove, 19-play drive, 10 minutes and 41 seconds. Logan Abrams getting 11 carries on that drive, gets the touchdown and a 2-point conversion to give them a field goal lead. They're up 23-20 at that point. Last chance for the freshman Reese Shanklin and his Flyers, but he's intercepted by Patrick Weaver with just over a minute to go in the game. That seals it, and that is your final defensive play of the game that leads to a 23-20 win for the Trojans, their second 6A championship in the last 2 years. And really for them, it came down to really just all that fourth quarter. They dominated the entire quarter. A lot of running plays, a lot of Logan Abrams, and he delivers.
Yeah, again, just, I mean, the punishment he took this entire game was incredible. He was still standing, gets a game-winning touchdown. And yeah, again, you just watch being able to string it out. They got a couple of big chunk plays, but honestly, a big part of this drive was 3-4 yards. As you see, he is just carrying guys through. And look, he has just been an incredibly tough, durable runner, and that's what you want. And then you hopefully get something outside to the wing back, and you drive inside the red zone, and they know what to do once they're inside the red zone.
Not too many coaches will dial up 31 carries for your lead back, 87 yards, just 2 yards a carry. But when it comes with that many hard-fought yards on that drive, several third downs, several fourth downs, and they kept the drive moving, kept the chains moving, and eventually getting that touchdown.
Yeah, championship drive. That's what it is. And you've got to feel for East St. Louis. I mean, you know, Pops Battle wraps up an amazing 4-year high school career. Unfortunately, gets injured. East St. Louis has to go to the freshman quarterback. But you know what? Both sides had injuries. Both sides had to have kids step up and do it. And, you know, the game goes on. It's a shame it happens that way, but it's football. It happens, and you play with your best.
We had talked about that 37-36 Cary-Grove win 2 years ago being one of the best games we've seen at the state championships. Here's a drive that people will be talking about for years to come for the Trojans that delivers them their second championship in the last 3 years, and another one for Brad Seaberg and his squad as the Trojans come away with a 6A championship, 23-20 over East St. Louis. That is our second champion. We got one repeat champion in the 5A, not a repeat champion here, at least today, at least not a back-to-back champion, as the Trojans come away with the title. That's quite a first 2 set of games that we've had here. A lot more to come today. These next 2 are going to have a lot to live up to after those first 2 championships. It is a 23-20 win for Cary-Grove. They've got the title. Much more to come for us when we come back.